53.58, fourth fastest lap of the race. Then we have GTP Jonjig with a 53.319. Then we have THG Zebulon with a 53.331. And then we have GTR Racer Maniac at a 53.408. Then we have Jamcar 1 with a 53.416. Then we have Chris W 265 at a 53.583. Crazy John is here at a 53.583. So their lap times are identical. So that's really close right there. Then we have Text 36 at a 54.350. And then Fallen Log comes in here with a 54.407. And Squatch has yet to be on track, Squatch 7. So we'll look at his lap time later on the day. But it looks like the field separated by 2.3 seconds. That's not a lot.
Not a lot of time at all. So thanks for reading those times out and getting us up to speed.
You're welcome.
Skype is frozen again. But anyway, welcome to part 2. I think we are now live on part 2. So if you're just joining us or watching this back on replay, welcome to live coverage of the third running of the GTPlanet's London 12-hour. Andrew Mather and David Griffin in the commentary box for you. And welcome, of course, once again to Brands Hatch, 10 miles southeast of London for this race here today. It's cold but dry, and it's a beautiful winter's day here in the south of England. We've got these VW Fun Cup cars, these VW Beetle 1200cc motors roaring around the Brands Hatch Indy circuit of just under 2 kilometres, 6 turns, and so far we've had a fascinating race here today, currently led by the number 23 Top Notch Racing entry and the 48 Reaper Online Racing car in second. Turtle Racing League in the number 68 are in third place overall and also leading the Pro Am class. 2 classes here today, a fully Pro 4-car class and a 10-car Pro Am class. We've had just a single retirement so far, which has been the eScuderia GTMX 39 machine. That's one of our Pro cars that has had to leave the race. And apart from that, we've had a fair few disconnections, a few incidents as well, with cars colliding and penalties along the way, but all in all, the driving standards have been pretty good, as they always are in the GTPlanet Sportscar Series. This, of course, is the first event for 2016 in the GTPlanet Sportscar Series, the second full season of the competition. Our second event, of course, is next week with the return to Daytona for the Daytona 24 Hours. So if you want all the news for that race going into it, head across to the forums at www.gtplanet.net. So we're into the final stretch now. And here we're seeing a little battle between the 92 of Snail Racing League and the 19 of the Humble Guys. The Humble Guys currently, at the last check, 4th overall.
They're looking at a little antsy there, getting a little squirrely behind them.
Yeah, the Humble Guys are looking a bit quicker at the moment than the Snail Racing League, eager to get past as well. I'm just going to remind myself of how far behind Turtle Racing League the Humble Guys were. What was it? It was 8 laps, so it is a fair amount of time there, but still a long way to go.
Well, the 8th hour update is showing they're 6 laps back now.
Oh,
so they've gained a couple of laps there. So they're not too far behind.
No, not at all. So it's still worth it pushing and trying to take that class win.
We got some new fast lap times. Werner the Legend has set a 51.952, and Zygon has set a 52.1. So he has moved up into second in the lap times.
Good to hear. If you want to hear the current lap times, as the 92 having a real moment, and is he going to be able to get it back on track safely? Yes.
That was nice.
Good save there from the driver in the Snail Racing League Beetle. Here's the SRT Racing team now trying to get past the Humble guys as we now switch to the leader, who has just overtaken the now recovered 92 Snail Racing League machine to start another lap. And I'm just looking back at that moment for the Snail Racing League car. I just had visions of that white Beetle spearing back across the track and taking somebody out. But that was a good recovery there to make sure that didn't happen.
Yeah, that would not have been a pretty sight. Getting on the grass in these cars is like driving on ice.
Hello to everyone who's switched across from part 1 to part 2. Ben Alls, I can see, is in the chat. Trevor 702's there as well. Adam Wareham from the Midweek Motorsport Races Collective. Hello, mate. Good to see you back around. And do keep your questions and comments coming in on that chat, and we'll try and read them and answer for them as accurately as we can. 31 people I can see currently watching on the stream. '23 flashes the headlights up ahead at one of what I suspect is one of the AM cars who jumped straight out of the way. It's the GCR Blackhawks. Good driving there from both drivers.
Oh, we got a spin out on the front stretch. There's just a car sitting out there. Just after Clark Curve. He's sitting right past the pit entrance.
Well, we might be able to see them in a moment as the field come round.
And he still has not moved. So I'm wondering if he's waiting on traffic. Ah, there he goes. He's just re-entered track. And let me see who that was. That was THZ Zebulon.
Yeah, Zebulon's been in the car for quite a while. I remember him getting into the car pretty soon after I joined the
He's
broadcast.
171 laps into his run, so he's probably getting kind of tired.
Yep.
Speaking of tired, I can't imagine falling log and just keeps on going, you know. He has not had any sleep.
Yep, it's definitely something I wouldn't want to do myself. Having raced endurance races in real life in go-karts, I've seen people do that. They try and stay up and then get to about 15, 16 hours and just crash spectacularly.
Oh, I know. I definitely know what he's experiencing. I had to do it at Nürburgring. I did 13 hours at Nürburgring. We had a driver drop out, so I had to do his stints. And that's not fun, not in the Z4.
But good contributions there from him. Question from AJ. Do you think Zygon's car is a completely different colour? Yes, I think you're right. It's a more...
We weren't supposed to announce that.
Pinky based red. It's still red. It's fine. Oh, apologies. Just seen that. See, this is because my Skype keeps freezing. I'm not seeing latest comments.
Oh, they just received a warning for that.
That hasn't come up on my screen. I'm sure as soon as you're in the lobby, you'll know that for sure.
And this is their third warning of the event. So that means some penalties might be handed out soon if they get another warning. Oh, Bernard of the Legends just set a new purple lap time at a 51.809. He is hauling the mail.
So Bernard the Legend, of course, driving in the number 16. It's such a shame. It's such a shame that they've had their connection issues today, because I really think they would have been in the chance for a win.
Yeah, I had those guys picked for the top two. They showed their strength in the beginning of the race.
Looking now at a gaggle of cars in front of the 23.
Yeah, he's going to have his hands full here in a minute.
The Humble guys involved in their SRT racing team, the car you can see the camera focusing on there. Driver change for Fallen Log, so that's Endurance Experience making another driver change. Hopefully that means another one of their newer drivers is now able to drive. They have been having connection issues throughout the whole race, hence why they are where they are on the classification. And it once again, similar to the number 16, they've not been slow. They've been quite, when on track, they've been consistent going round and not having too many incidents. So it's a shame. I do wonder what could they have done if they'd had reliable connection. FRS Skater is getting in to that car and will hopefully take it to the end.
He's no slouch of a driver, so hopefully he can get in there and do a good job for them.
The number 23 is still stuck behind these three Pro-Am cars who are having their own battle. In fact, is that? No, I don't think that is. Is that the 48 right ahead of them?
No, the 48 is
oh, no, it's the 66.
back on Cooper Straight.
Yeah, I just saw the 66 and its green wheels. So yes, it is. It's the Darts team, Humble guys, and SRT. SRT are now dispatched by the race leaders. And here is the 48.
Yeah, they're one sector apart for gap.
So not far at all then.
Nope.
5 seconds still with two of these cars ahead.
Oh,
my
three wide.
goodness me. That nearly got
spin.
That situation.
Spin.
And off goes the Dart car right in front of the leaders. The Humble guys are still there. I think it was contact between the Humble guys and the Dart car that resulted in the Dart car spinning off there. Can 5 Zygon get past the 19? The 19's got good straight line speed and is good on the brakes as well, I've noticed.
I'm watching the replay here of the Dart car. We'll see what happened here. And it looks like Dart just got loose there. He was on the inside and he just lost his rear end.
Number 23, the leader car, now past the number 19, which is good work for them. And now they can set about building this lead, which it isn't the biggest it's been today. These two leading cars are now back on the same lead lap as we look at the Endurance Experience team with FRS Skater now at the wheel of the 76. So I think both these cars, the 23 and the 48, both need to keep pushing. They need to keep pushing because they don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 hours and 44 minutes. As who's that trying to get past the 76 up the inside? It's the 48. It's the car in second place, and they do so. Past goes Ronald Thomas. I'm pretty sure it's still Ronald Thomas at the wheel.
You're correct. He is still at the wheel. You know, if I was him, he's on 166 laps. I might pit and get some fresh tires, try to get some time on the TNR guys.
Well, I wonder, are they trying to get that car through to a spot where they can do a driver change? Because surely Ronald Thomas will go over 4 hours if he tries to drive to the end.
Oh, okay. He has yet to do a driver change. I see.
Yeah, because he's been out there for the majority of my time here in the comms booth, so I can imagine. But in fact, yeah, the point still remains. Once the tyres have gone, they're in a good spot where they can do a driver change. So, and then have a driver who can just push all the way for the remainder of the race. So 2 hours and 43 minutes to go here at Brands Hatch, the third running of the GTPlanet London 12 Hour. My name's Andrew Mather. I'll be with you till the end.
I think I'm here till the end as well.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing if Reaper can close the gap here. But it looks like Zygon's on rails right now. He's just dropped down into the 51s as well.
Windscreen wipers going on the 76. Not quite sure they're needed today.
Maybe cleaning the bugs off his windshield.
Maybe so. I saw at Autosport yesterday, I saw the Nick Tandy Hulkenberg Bamber winning Le Mans car from last year.
That was nice.
That thing was beautifully filthy. There's something about it. In fact, I don't really like show cars. The F1 stand at Autosport is the classic. They have all these shiny F1 cars, but apart from the McLaren, which you can understand why, they were all not last year's car, and they're all not real. There's something about a car where you look at it and know, yes, that's been in a major race and has been through the wars, and you can see the gaffer tape and the mess all over it. There's something about that I absolutely love. So it's great to see that car in the flesh again.
There's a story behind it, and that's what I think excites us about stuff like that, is wanting to know the story behind all those dings and scratches. I got kicked out of the lobby again, so I'm going to rejoin.
And saying that, it didn't look too bad as well. I've seen cars. I remember I was at Hockenheim once for Formula Student Germany, and they had, I want to say, I can't remember which BMW it was, but it was a works BMW which had done the Nürburgring 24 hours, and that was a real mess. That you could see that thing was held together with tape here, there, and everywhere. It was brilliant. If you ever go to Daytona as well, they have the 500 winner for that year.
Yeah, their car.
Yeah, they have that held in a little room, and it's still covered in, as I say, all the bumps and bangs from the race, but also all the ticker tape, the post-race celebration, and all the ticker tape stuck all over it.
Yeah, I was there in 2013. I got to see Jamie McMurray's car from the 2012 Daytona 500. It was neat to see all the confetti still stuck on there. All right, I'm back up in the room now, so get back into the timing scoring. Oh, there we go. We got a pass coming. Number 16, a Dragon Racer.
Yep, so Dragon Racer
turning some laps. He's just been doing a fantastic job at the wheel of that car.
Nearly a bit of contact though with the number 7. I don't know whether that was a miscommunication between the two drivers. Both of them survived though. And Burner the Legend takes as race control. Oh my goodness me, I thought that was that was going to be a real bandit manoeuvre up the inside by Haas Racing's. Is it Crazy John is here in at the moment?
Yes, Crazy John is in that car.
Well, I can see why he's named that now, because that was I just had sights of T-bone action, and oh my goodness me.
So let's see, has Rono closed any on Zygon? It looks like Zygon's closing in on Rono. They're less than a sector apart now.
So is Burner the Legend the quickest man out there at the moment?
He is. Before I crashed, his lap time was a 51.8. Since I've been in a room, it's a 52.1. So I don't have his best lap on there anymore, but his previous lap was a 52.2 to Zygon 52.2. Rono is a 52.4, so Zygon's about 2/10 faster right now, but he's also on newer tires. I just got booted again. I'm glad I'm not racing.
Yeah.
I would be screaming at PSN right now.
So there's the 16 still on screen for you guys. Oh, not on screen anymore as we change to the 65. The SRT Racing Team entry. Currently looking at the back end of the Endurance Experience car. which, as we've mentioned, hasn't had the best of days. Not through bad driving, just bad luck with connections and falling offline, which can happen, of course, in online racing. If you're new to the series, welcome. It's good to have you on board for this first race of the season, the 2016 GTPlanet Sportscar Series. Lights being flashed there by the driver in the number 65.
I just took notice to the driver name tickers up top that it tells you who's in the car at the time. I must be behind. I must have been born yesterday. That's pretty neat that they let you know who's in the car.
Yeah, it's a new feature for the Nerds system. It's having its first run out here today as a side by side. Look at this as the 65 completes the move on the 76. Good work there by Storage Trunks SRT Racing Team, who continue to run very well today and could potentially get a top 5 finish. It would be a really, really strong result for them in their first entry to the series. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle though coming out of Druids there. So it's Top Notch Racing from Reaper Online Racing, Turtle Racing League 3rd, the Humble Guys 4th, SRT Racing 5th. 2 hours and 36 to play.
So far, the past 10 or 15 laps, it looked pretty clean. No spins. That's a good thing.
Well, we said this before, and then it all went crazy. So
Yeah, every time we open our mouth, something happens.
here is the 91. We've not talked about
there
them
it
for
goes.
a while. Oh my goodness, where's that going? And the Spinning Arrows Racing Team managed to survive that little escapade. Just trying to remind myself who's at the wheel of the 91. Is it the A? Still, I'm confused now as to what's the actual serious. I know what the 65 getting very, very out of shape.
I wonder if there was damage to the. Who was that? Endurance Experience car?
Endurance Experience, yeah, that have come into the pits behind them.
That was a close call right there.
65 then, no trouble, no damage, I think, from that incident. Just a little bit of, just getting a little bit of out of shape there, a little bit of oversteer. And I'm hoping the 76 was coming in anyway, and that's not damaged because of that incident. But you dropped out again. 2 hours 34 to go then of this 12-hour race.
Yeah, I got dropped out, and so I'm quitting the game and rejoining. Try to reset everything.
Yellow,
we got a yellow.
One.
That's a black car. Where's that? I'm not in the room to figure it out.
As there's a Haas Gaming number 7 car getting a bit squibbly as well. Green flag now in Sector 1. As my stream decides to freeze.
Mine has frozen as well. And at the same time, my PSN kicked me offline. So I'm wondering.
Talk amongst yourselves, guys.
There we go. I got it back.
65 still on screen. Apologies for the technical issues. They'll be fixed momentarily. And we'll be going off air for 30 seconds, so just bear with us, guys. We will be back shortly. Back. There it is.
There we go.
So we're still 65 on screen. Apologies for that technical issue. The 7's run a little bit wide. Haas Gaming running wide there, and the 65 of SRT Racing Team going back through. You're watching live coverage of the third running of the GT Planet's London 12-hour. Andrew Mellor and David Griffin with you here in the commentary box. Here is the number 76 Endurance Experience team, our development team, with a couple of drivers from the GT Planet's karting series in that car this year. As the 19, we switched to the 19, the Humble Guys. This was the car classified at our last hourly update in 4th place and doing very, very well in the Pro-Am class. Looks like this is just going to be a routine pit stop, no notification of a driver change for this car. This car having its debut in the series here today. Kemo Simok, TSO40 and Zebulon in that car. As we go back to the on-track action, here is a gaggle of cars with... Go ahead.
They're all rookies in that car. They're doing a daggum good job.
They are. They're doing a really, really good showing on their first time here in the series. And Zebulon, after what feels like a very, very long stint, is going to be getting out of that car and handing it over to a teammate, which we will know in short time. I'm guessing it'll be Kemo Simok, because I haven't seen him out on track whilst I've been here the last 4 hours or so. TSO40 was in that car in the early to middle part of the race.
Looks like
TSO40 back in.
That was a quick change there. Wasn't he just in the car an hour or two ago? Or was that another THG?
No, they're all down as THGs. Zebulon's been in that car for quite a while. Haas Gaming trying to unlap themselves or get a lap back on TNR. 5 Zygon at the wheel now of the race, leading number 23 machine. And really has his mirrors full of this number 7 car.
Yeah, Zygon's about 7 seconds back from 12 seconds back from Rono Thomas. So he's definitely gaining ground to relap the second place car of Reaper Online Racing.
He is indeed. But Crazy John is here. My goodness, we know he's here. He's been giving us some real entertainment in the last half hour or so, and is looking very racy up behind the race leader, but quick as well.
Yeah, he's got a little bit fresher tires on his car, and I'm wondering if that might be the difference. He's got about 12 laps fresher tires.
Well, whatever he's doing, it's good pace at the moment, because we've got to remind ourselves that's a platinum driver in that number 23 car.
Sure is. Yeah, he's currently second fastest in the race right now, so Crazy John's not far off his pace.
This is really good stuff from the new team, another new team to the series this year, the Haas Racing team. Haas Gaming 96, a name familiar in GT Planet, of course. And this is his new team. Has massive drift, love it. 10 points for commitment there from Crazy Johnny's here.
We just lost THG. They got discoed.
Oh, that's a real shame. Well, at least it's at the start of the stint, and they won't have lost a load of laps. Let's just hope they can get back in and not have more issues, because that would be horrible to get this far and then lose a potential 4th place for disconnections.
Yeah, I just got disconnected again too, so I feel his pain. Yeah, they've got a few laps on the 5th place car. They've got about 30 laps, so I think they're going to be safe to stay in 4th position at this time.
Oh, we'd hope so. Still looking at this battle between Haas Hoss Gaming and Top Notch Racing. Top Notch Racing just starting to pull away a little bit now, as THG and their driver are now back in the room.
That's a good idea. AJ's asking if you would like to try to join.
I can try if you give me a couple of minutes.
Sure. Yeah, I'm probably interrupting the drivers, joining and rejoining. It would make sense to see if somebody else has a better connection.
Okay, I'll disappear for a couple of minutes and be back very, very shortly.
So right now we're looking at GTR Blackhawks going down Cooper Straight, trying to catch the number 7 car of Harsk Racing. Actually, that's not the number 7. That's the number 76 Endurance Experience. Trying to put another lap down on them. It's pretty much the closest battle we have right now. We watched them come down to get back onto Cooper Straight again off of Graham Hill Bend. Looking pretty clean so far. Oh, it looks like he's gained some time there coming out of the corner of Clark Curve. Looks like he's been able to get on the power a little bit quicker than Endurance Experience. Yeah, he's probably gained about 6 car lengths just in the straightaway. Definitely got some speed coming out of the Blackhawks there. This is the corner that he gained a couple of tenths last time. Let's see if he can gain any more on this lap. Pretty even there that time. Wonder if maybe Endurance Experience had just a little bit of a hiccup last lap. Oh, looks like TNR is going to have a gaggle of cars to get through here. There's about 5 cars in front of him. We got 2 side by side. And it's SRT Racing along with the Humble guys. Looks like they've gotten back on track. Oh, TNR takes inside of Humble guys and just disposes of them in a matter of seconds. That was a nice pass there by TNR, 5-Zagen. And he's already on the rear of SRT Racing. He is just making time on these guys like it's nothing. Ooh, a little loose there from Zagen. Coming down the straight. Let's see if he can grab the draft. Go right past him. Looks like we've just been handed hour 9 of the race, so I'll run through this for you while we're waiting on Andrew to join the room. So as of hour 9, we have in first place Top Notch Racing, car number 23, with 415 laps completed. Then we have in second place 48 of Reaper Online Racing with 415 laps completed. They are currently 1 lap and 28 seconds behind the leader. Then we have in third place the number 19 car of the Humble guys. So they've moved up 1 position since last hour. They are currently 15 laps behind the leader in third place. Then we have in fourth the number 72 of Wheel Racing Limited. They are currently 50 laps behind. Then we have in 5th the number 68 of Turtle Racing League with 51 laps behind, so they're pretty close to the 4th place team. Then we have the 6th place car of number 66 Dart. They are 62 laps behind. Then we have the 7th place car of the number 65 SRT Racing. They are currently 65 laps behind. Then we have in 8th place the number 92 of the Snail Racing League. They are currently 87 laps down. And then in the 9th place, number 91, Spinning Arrows Racing, is 109 laps down. And in 10th place, we have the Endurance Experience. They have moved up from last place, and they are now currently in 10th place. What a comeback for these guys. Being drivers coming out of the karting series, and to just keep on trucking there, they have made a wonder of themselves by moving up to 10th, and they are currently, actually that is wrong. Oh no, they are currently at 285 laps and 131 laps down. They are 1 lap ahead of the Harsk team in the 11th place, and they are 132 laps down. Then we have in 12th place Dragon Razor Racing with 135 laps down. And in 13th, we have the 95 car of the GTR Blackhawks at 152 laps down. And then bringing out the rear is the retired car of the number 39 of Scuderia GTMX. So a lot of excitement coming into the last hour here with the Endurance Experience moving up 4 positions on the track. So a good job for those guys. And we have Andrew back now.
Hello. Behold, we now have race times and lots of data. Apologies for that and the slight delay, but we're now back up and running, and we can now provide you with some lap times. Whilst I was gone, was that a hourly update that we just had down?
That is correct. We have the number 76 car has moved up from last to 10th place.
Oh, good stuff.
So good job for David Fuller and his team.
I can tell you there's a spinner in the last corner, Chris W265, which is actually the local team, the Wild Racing Limited team. I've had a spin. But going back to the action on screen, here's the 91 of Spinning Arrows Racing.
And according to AJ, only the 2 leaders have not had problems.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It's been a real race of attrition here today at Brands Hatch.
So
And we've still got 2.25 hours to go.
Kudos to the PSN network for them. They're in the right regions, I guess.
Absolutely. So here we are then. Still this battle at the moment is 91 has got the attentions of Turtle Racing League and the 68 behind them. Up ahead you can just see the leaders there, the number 23.
Looks like Reaper Online lost out with the first safety car having just made a pit stop and lost a lap because of that. So that's why they're currently a lap down.
Just looking through the times at the moment, you can see Squatch 7, we haven't talked about him so far today. Squatch 7 has just set a 52.892, and that's the driver now in the 91 Spinning Arrows car. TNR 5 Saigon has just set a 52.351 as well. That's a very, very quick lap from 5 Saigon. You can see he's just started a new lap. And as we said before, definitely closing in on Ronald Thomas' spin at Paddock Hill Bend. It's the GTR Blackhawks who spun.
Yeah, they haven't had good luck the past couple of hours. Been spinning out a few times.
Turtle Racing League still running strong in the Pro-Am class.
Oh,
nice
they
little
got a
drift
little
there.
loose. Looks like they're comfortably in 5th right now, though, so that's good for them to be able to keep it in the top 5. They're currently 9 laps ahead of 6th place Dart team, so they've got a pretty good gap if they just take it easy. Looks like the debris has been behaving itself on the Cooper Straight.
Yep. So it looks like that's a piece of the polystyrene marker boards which you have on the side of the track that's I think I can't remember which car, it was one of the Pro-Am cars, ran very, very wide out of that corner and brought that onto track, but nobody's tripped over it since.
Yeah, it seems to be stationary. I've seen a couple of cars go over it, but it wants to stay in place.
Good laps from GTP John Jig at 52.871 last time around, and Little Regret 265 with a 53.296. Little Regret now in the 68. And John Jig still running, and he's been running for a while, I believe, in the SRT Racing Team 65. Here's the 92, who've had a bit of an up and down day so far. After the 9-hour update, they were sat in 8th position. The team of Coach MK21, Die Birdie Die, Jam Car 1, Next Rad 11. It is Jam Car 1 out on track at the moment, setting times in the low 54s. Fastest on my screen at the moment is a 53.872.
Looks like the tire wear is starting to come into play there. Unless they've run into some traffic somewhere.
Got to give a shout to Ronno Thomas, because if my screen in my screen in the lobby is now correct, he's about to start his 200th lap in this car. That is an absolutely fantastic effort from Ronno Thomas, and he continues to really impress me in this series. His driving has just grown. So
we got an off.
7.
That's Wheel Racing.
Number 7 having trouble there.
You sure that's not Wheel Racing, number 72? Oh, that is the number 7. Looks orange on my screen.
Yeah, the 72
My apologies.
behind him. It's getting to that time of the night. Yeah,
So
little problem there.
You think Ronno Thomas will have to do a driver change with 2 hours left?
I think they will do, unless I'm missing a rule. I think they will have to make a pit stop.
And they'll have to do it within the next hour because they're a pro team and they have to change within the last 60 minutes of the race. Oh, we got a spin. It's the Turtle Racing League on the... What is that? That's Graham Hill Bend.
Yeah, that's just come down to Graham Hill Bend.
Well, he saved that.
That's a strange one. We've not seen someone off there.
Yeah, he was backwards facing traffic and he just managed to reverse it and get it back in line before somebody hit him. That was some pretty good skill driving after coming out of a spin like that.
Some green times being set by TSO 40, Little Regret 265. Actually, TSO 40 has just fallen out of the room.
Oh, yes.
Oh no, we've seen this before with this car. At the start of this car's stint, there was, as someone's off, as the Snail Racing are off on the exit of Paddock Hill Bend, but do very good to get the car back on track and then immediately pull to the right, get out of the way and get back up to speed off the racing line. That's good driving there from Snail Racing League and Jam Car 1.
Well, let's hope that the Humble guys don't have any more disconnects, because now they're about 28 laps ahead of the 4th place car, so if they can keep it on track, they'll get a podium today. And they're a Pro-Am team to make podium. That's a good run for those guys.
Glenn Alves in for Reaper Online. That's an issue. That's quite a big issue.
Yeah, where did Ronno Thomas go? I never saw him.
Ronno Thomas is still out on track.
Uh-oh. We'll see what happens here.
Really hope Glenn Els isn't blocking the way for THG to get back into the lobby.
I'm wondering if maybe he jumped in for them.
Ronald Thomas is in. Ronald Thomas is in the pits.
Okay, so that's an early join. That's going to be a warning or a penalty.
Jam Car 1 is in the pits as well. In fact, he's just leaving the pits now. Glenn Els is now out really.
So he just got a little antsy there. Maybe accidentally hit the button. He's rejoined the room, and Rono has not left the room still.
No. He's not quite sure what's going on here for the 48 that's in second place in the race.
Yeah, this will be interesting. I got to check and see how many laps behind the Humble guys are here. They're 15. They're 14 laps behind. So if they get any penalties here at this driver change, that could change up a little bit. They could gain 3 or 4 laps on these guys.
But of course, the Humble guys are still not in the lobby. TSO 40 has not re-entered the room yet.
Oh.
This is why this could be a real problem for Reaper Online Racing, because I imagine TSO 40 is frantically trying to get back out on track, and if he's been stopped, if he's not been able to get back on because Glenn Els has been in the lobby when he shouldn't have been, this could be a real problem.
It could be. It could be massive penalties.
All the while, this is a car that still has a chance of winning this race. This is real drama. Just to say, I think Bono Thomas eventually completed 202 laps in that mammoth stint by Bono Thomas. Glenn Els is now in. Still no sign of the Humble guys. Where has their driver gone?
I wonder if he's having the same problems I did, where he tries to join and it gets halfway loaded and it just freezes. Let's hope PlayStation fixes this problem by next weekend, because that's going to be a headache for the 24-hour drivers.
Here's the 16 on the screen, Dragon Razor Racing, a long way down the order. THG are back. THG are back in the room. Not out on track yet. Glenn Els is still not out on track yet. With the 16, they've had their issues with connections, but still running very quick times.
And there's the penalty for the 91 car.
That's the second penalty that the 91 has had in this race.
And that's not even the Reaper Online car getting the penalty.
That's Spinning Arrows who've received that penalty.
Oh, we got a spin.
Turtle Racing League off in the last corner. They've gone straight on into the gravel trap. I don't think they've hit the wall. That was right in front of the number 16.
So I'm curious of what the 91 got penalized for.
Glenn Els is on track. So Reaper Online Racing have completed. There they are. Reaper Online Racing have completed their pit stop. Squatch 7 is in the pits, I can tell you, for Spinning Arrows. This is going to be their penalty, and THG are back out on track as well. So things starting to get a bit normal. We're back to 13 cars out on track.
And there should be 14. Oh no, that's right. We have a retirement.
We've lost E-Scooter, of course. So this penalty for Squatch 7 and the Spinning Arrows team, it was a wrong wheels. That's a new one. 91, you're using the wrong wheels. Take stint photo, leave lobby and correct.
Uh-oh. That's
so
going to take time.
Out of spec vehicle, effectively.
Spinning Arrows, how far back are they in the hourly update here?
Last one, they were 9th place, having completed 307 laps, pretty much in their own space, 22 laps behind.
Oh, yeah. So they're a good distance in front of Endurance Experience.
Yeah.
So they're kind of safe at the moment.
But at times it has been a little bit messy for them today, I have to say.
Tell you who hasn't had a mess, and that's the TNR group. They have just been trucking and trucking and trucking. I think they've been involved in one small accident.
Yep.
And I believe that was at the beginning of the race.
They had the one with the 91 as well, where the 91 didn't get on the brakes. Burn of the Legends in, number 16. It's big drift again from, you guessed it, Haas Gaming in the number 7. I do like Crazy John is here. I think I'm going to enjoy his drive. He is doing really quick lap times as well. He's just set a 53.057 last time around, and he's doing a really good job. But he's got a very particular way of driving. Oh my goodness me! That was a moment as well, running wide and clipping the dirt on the left-hand side on driver's left, and did well to hold on to that.
Just saying his name gets attention. Makes you want to laugh. Crazy John is here.
63 laps completed by Crazy John. Last time around that was a 54.2.
Well, he's got wide.
Wide! Can he hold it? Can he hold it? Yes, he can!
Oh my goodness.
Fantastic work.
That is some good driving right there.
That went back and forth at least 2 times, maybe 3.
I probably would have lost that one. I don't know how he saved that.
Because he's crazy.
I guess it takes a little bit of crazy up. There he goes, drifting.
Big drift again. 48 penalty. 48's got a penalty. We guessed it. Box and hold this lap, joining the lobby too soon. That, I'm afraid, is probably going to end any chance, unless we have some real drama. That's going to end any chance they had of taking the race win today. Here comes the 48 down pit lane now. And they're going to be held until AJ tells them to go.
If only the humble guys wouldn't have been discoed with this penalty, they could have probably gotten within 5 laps of second place.
Yeah. Out of the pits there was coming, I'm not sure who that was.
I think the 91 maybe?
Yeah.
Getting done with their penalty?
No, they've been out for a while. I think it might have been the 76.
Oh, okay.
Is still in the pits. Still in the pits. I'll let you know when he's moving again. So that'll be a really frustrating error for those guys, because that's unlike Glenn to do that, and he's just unlucky because he wouldn't have been able to do it. The reason it happened is because THG had just disconnected and there was a spot free in the lobby.
I bet you that's what was happening, unless they weren't communicating on Skype.
Yeah.
That's how I usually.
Oh,
have
who's
my
that in the
team.
wall?
Oh,
Someone in the wall.
I
down
think
pit
that's
straight.
Endurance Experience. Looked like they were right in front of the leader as well. All right, it looks like Glenn Howes is getting back on track.
No, it was
Harsh.
It was Crazy John, because Skater has just come down and is Glenn Howes is running again, just by the way. Endurance Experience are with them, so it was Crazy John.
Yes.
I just wonder, is actually the crazy driving actually a little bit of lag on my screen? That's what it might actually be.
Well, it was on the stream. It looked like he just slammed into the wall.
Well, he's got a bit of attention at the moment from John Jig in the SRT racing team. Here's Val Racing Limited, and here we are back with Crazy John.
I'm going to be interested to see our 10 update from the Reaper Online to see how much time they lost from that penalty.
I think it was about a minute. My goodness me, fast lap times being thrown in, not just by one driver but by 2. Burner the Legend just sets a 51.912. 60-second penalty is what I'm being told. TNR5 Zygon is also setting very fast lap times with a 51.954. The race is on.
Yeah, Burner Legend has been laying down the laps this stint. He just got it rolling. It's just sad to see them so far down the list.
2 purple lap times as well, purple sector times, I apologise, in that last lap. Sector 2 and Sector 3, very, very quick. Oh no, sorry, I'm reading another lap time because TNR5 Zygon has just done a 51.791.
Oh, and we got a
2
spin.
purples.
The SRT just spun, and we have also the number 7 is off track as well.
So it's getting
they both recovered.
There again.
Yeah, a lot of cars together.
Someone off in the background as well, coming onto the Cooper Straight.
I wonder if somebody's laying oil on the track.
There's a spin as Turtle Racing League head to the pits. Little Regret 265 being the driver for them, and Chris W265 and the local VAR Racing Limited team, they're in as well. And it is all going on here. We've still got 2 hours to go. So much has happened in this race so far. If you've just joined us, you're watching live coverage of the 3rd running of the GT Planet's London 12-hour, live here from Brands Hatch. There's a warning for the number 7 Haas Gaming. Crazy John has been told, given a warning for lack of car control. Into the pits comes Jam Car 1, the driver in the white 92 Snell racing machine. You can see him just entering his pit box there. Going back to these lap times, 5 Zygon, 51. I think there's a spinner down at Paddock Hill Bend.
Yeah, he had a 51.7, I think, is what he told us.
A 51.8 is what is just set as well, so he's definitely pushing. The spinner, there was one there, it was just out of shot. It was Tex 36 for the Darts number 66 team off the road. Back now is 65. Storage Trunks SRT Racing Team.
Yeah, they got around the number 7 of Harsk.
And John Jig's setting fast lap times as well, a 52.7 being his best on my screen at the moment, a 53.2 last time around as he's defending from the yellow car behind, which is Crazy John in the Harsk Racing number 7, closing in on the VAR Racing Limited car ahead of them. Behind them, I can tell you, as Endurance Experience are in the pits.
Is that the number 16 creeping up on this group?
I think it is.
And
yes,
then
it is.
Reaper, in that Reaper as well.
No, Glenn Alice is currently on the pit straight.
Okay.
So it is definitely the number 16.
And it's either Darter or GTR Blackhawks.
Yeah, I think it is GTR Blackhawks. Yes, it is. Crazy John's just set his fastest lap of 52.752.
That's crazy.
Off in the background there go the Blackhawks. Racer Mania currently at the wheel of the 95.
Looks like Berner's going to catch these guys within a lap.
Well, he is flying. He's just set a 52.105 last time around. These guys are at least half a second slower than him.
Yeah, Berner's had some good consistency today. That's good to see out of him.
And in a way, do you think this will be a good confidence boost for Berner, the legend? He's of course currently.
Oh, definitely. Definitely, this is good recovery.
He'll have known when getting in this car, the race was done for them. They were out of it, and that wasn't his fault at all. So, do you think he's driving with quite a bit of freedom today, and that's why we're seeing these fast lap times?
I think that's exactly what he's doing, and I've also been told from a few drivers that he's very good with street cars, and so this is probably sitting right in his wheelhouse.
Absolutely. So here we're still looking at this battle. And we have seen this with the faster guys today, that it is quite hard. I mean, it's understandable because they're all the same car, but overtaking has been quite difficult for some.
Well, this track is not one for making a lot of passes because of the off-cambered corners. It's just very hard to get inside somebody without getting loose.
Haas Gaming going up the inside of SRT. Can they get the move done? And look at that! That is beautiful. Bernard the Legend slips it up the inside of both of them. But is that going to be in a crash? Are they all going to get around the corner? They are.
Amazing, he saved it.
But great stuff there. Crazy John through and past SRT racing team. John J currently at the wheel.
Oh, and he's off.
Oh.
They have been swapping positions for the past 10 laps, and there goes Bernard to the inside.
Through in the 16.
That was a give me right there. Oh, here we go, too wide. Coming out of Druid Bend.
That's TNR in a battle with Endurance Experience and Snail Racing. And AJ's telling me 23 was slow. Let's just have a look. Yeah, they've lost about 8 seconds there. They've just set a 27.3 as their first sector, a 15.8 as their second sector. So...
I'm wondering if he got off into the sand.
Yeah, I think he might have had a little trip to build some sandcastles on the exit of Paddock Hill Bend. Coming over the line now, last time around that was a 1:01.447. Bernard the Legend has also had, of course, had that slow lap because of the battle with the two AM cars.
Is that Bernard coming up on this group right behind him?
Bernard, so 5 Zygon, as we say, is look at this, almost 3 wide.
That's ridiculous.
Round the outside of Snail Racing Team through Graham Hill Bend. So you know where they are. Bernard the Legend is just coming through Graham Hill Bend now. For comparison, Glenn Alls is not that far behind these guys as well.
That's who it is, yes. That's who I was curious about, who was right behind this group. He just got past the Snail Racing League car.
So is that 1 lap or 2 laps behind now? Surely it's 2.
Oh, I would say that's 3 or 4. They did a driver change, and it took forever to get their other driver out of the car.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think TNR is done with their driver changes.
Yes, they are. 5 Zygon can run to the end. So they've worked this well. I think they've kind of issued the challenge to Reaper Online Racing and gone, come and catch us if you think you're quick enough. But they've just kept doing their thing, kept racing hard, kept racing clean, more importantly, and they're getting, with 1 hour 52 to go, hopefully get a very good result today.
Yeah, that's what TNR tends to do. They practice a lot, and they make sure they have their schedule down before they start a race. I've raced with these guys, and some of them raced for me in ABC Racing. But Zygon has had a good run. He's been consistent today, not been involved in any incidents, and so that's good news for him.
Bernard the Legend has just gone, on not this last lap, the lap before, sets a 51.856.
That's incredible. He just keeps on going. I wonder if their fuel's getting low and maybe they're able to turn these faster laps because of that.
Maybe so. It's been a very different race, this, of course, because talk about the fuel and the tyres. And it's expected because these cars are not LMP1 cars, for example. But the way these cars have been able to do much longer stints, need less pit stops. How do you think that's played into the drivers' minds here today?
Well, for one, if they've done their homework, they can figure out how much fuel they need to run when they pit, and they can have a lighter load as they go, and it'll be a lot better on their tires. So I'm curious to see who's been doing that. But yeah, I agree. I think you maximize your stint time, less pit stops. It works out great for those that have been able to do it.
His endurance experience, having Reaper Online Racing for company at the moment. As Glenn Owls gets a little bit of smoke off the back of the 48's tyres, and he's going to look to try and do the move into Paddock Hill Bend. They're side by side as they come across the start-finish line. Glenn Owls' fastest lap so far, 52.329, easily slips by the number 76. FRS skater at the wheel of the 76, who similarly has been setting some good lap times in the high 52s. And is doing a really good job here.
We have a question from Jay Starscream on the YouTube chat. Is Five Zygon the first person to consistently do 51s? No, we've had 2 or 3 guys in the 51s, correct?
I think so, yeah. I think we had a couple of guys early in the race be able to do that kind of lap time. In the second half of the race, though, I think he's one of the first, probably along with Burner the Legend.
Yeah, when I was in the room earlier, Burner was down in the 51.7s earlier when I was in the room doing timing and scoring. And now that Zygon's fuel has burned off, he's been consistently down there.
Yeah, he's just done another one of 51.869 last time around. I think that's 3 or 4 in a row where he's been under 52 seconds. So it's a really good job now from TNR and the TNR team and Five Zygon at the wheel of that car at the moment. It's a big just, but they just need to stroke it home now and not take any unnecessary risks because they've got a good lead here. Just running down some other lap times which are coming through at the moment. Burner Legend last time around a 52.1. Glenn Owls with that traffic of 53.1. Crazy John is here at 52.7. John Jig at 53.3. Skater at 54.1. THG, we should say, are back up and running. No more connection issues at the moment for TSO 40. They've been out there for another 21 laps. 53.4s at the moment. Racer Maniacs had an issue. The GTR Blackhawks had an issue last time around, a 1 minute 11. Chris W265 at 52.937. Little Regret at 53.2. Tex 36 at 54.1. Squatch 7 at 53.4. And Jam Car 1 at 53.8. 1 hour 49 to go then here at Brands Hatch for the third running of the GT Planet London 12 Hour. Thank you for your continued support here, the first event of our season. It's great to be back after the winter break, and we hope you're going to stick with us for the entirety of this season. If you haven't heard already, next week we go to Daytona for the 24 hours of Daytona, qualifying this weekend, so keep an eye on the forum for the latest news and the grids and everything going on and who's going to be racing there at Daytona next week. It's going to be a cracker.
Yeah, I'm curious to watch the Pro-Am classes this season. I think it's going to be an interesting run, having all these new rookies come in and race with the pros at Spa. That is going to be the race to watch this year.
I do remember Spa, the Spa 6 hour we had last year was another one of my favourites of the year, because that, just like the real 6 hour races are in the WEC, was just a sprint throughout the whole thing, and some of the overtaking was fantastic. So I agree, it would be great to go back to Spa, back to the Ardennes Forest, to have some more fun around there. Here's the 91 Spinning Arrows Racing, currently with Squatch 7 at the wheel. And just settling down now. It's been a shame. I do feel sorry for the 91 today. It's not been their day. They've had a couple of penalties along the way, but they're still going, and that's what I'm really pleased to see here today, because there are some teams who've had some real big problems. This is no discredit to GT Max, because they really could not have got another driver out on the track. Physically and technically couldn't do it, but everybody else who could have just gone, oh, we're out of this, we're 40, 50, 60 laps behind, let's just end it and end the pain, they've kept going. And just going back to the last hourly update, the Blackhawks, 264 laps completed. The leader's done 416, but they're still out there. They're still pushing. And I just think that's absolutely fantastic.
I have to agree with you. I mean, to not give up and don't get discouraged. You want to challenge yourself to finish these races. That way, you're better off the next race you run.
Pit stop for the number 7. Into the pits comes Crazy John. In fact, there out of the pits goes Crazy John is here for Haas Racing. New set of tyres on that car, I imagine. New set of Racing Hard compound tyres. 84 laps currently done in this stint by Crazy John is here. As Haas Racing, sorry, currently in 11th place, or were in 11th place at the last hourly update. That was after 9 hours, of course.
Yeah, we should be getting a new update within the next 15 minutes or so, I believe.
That would be correct. So do stick with us. There's definitely going to be a lot of action between now and the end of this race. It's still, though, Top Notch Racing leading from Reaper Online Racing. Third, we're not so sure because, of course, the Humble guys have had some connection issues in the last hour or so, excuse me. So you never know. Val Racing Limited, I've only just noticed this. Val Racing Limited are up to 4th. That's a fantastic effort because they're another team that have just kept plugging away at this all day, and at the moment they're getting a really good result. FRS Skater sets a 52.533. That's his fastest lap so far. Good work there in the Endurance Experience car. We were speaking to David Fuller, also known as Fallen Log, earlier. He was in the commentary box and says, very out of shape goes one of the black cars just up the road. You could see behind the leader there, so I couldn't quite catch and make out who that was. We were talking to David Fuller earlier, and he's done a really sensible thing, if you ask me. He's got this 4-man team, 2 rookies, 2 experienced heads. He's put the 2 rookies in the middle, and he's bookended them with the experienced drivers, of which, of course, Skater is one of them. So, good. Despite the results, I think it's been good work by them today.
Oh, they've done an excellent job, especially within the past 2 hours, coming from last, and they're in the top 10 now. Those are the fun teams to manage. I did that last year with a P2 team. AJ gave me a driver development team for the P2s, and we almost won the championship. We lost it by 10 points. We won 4 races last season with that car, and just it's fun to watch your drivers grow into something, starting out as rookies and then developing themselves. So I think they're going to have a lot of fun this year, getting all this experience and leveling up. It's going to be a good time for those guys.
Into the pits for their final driver change of the day. Storage Trunks SRT Racing Team, GTP John Jig has come in, and good stint from John Jig. That was a really impressive run, some good lap times in there, and he can be proud of that. Storage Trunks 7th overall at the last update. But saying that, I wonder, because we should explain to anyone new to the series that with these hourly updates, sometimes a team can be a bit slow on getting their stint pictures in. So I'm just thinking on that front. SRT Racing Team, I don't think they've had that many issues in the last few hours, so are they actually probably a little bit higher up?
Well, let's see how far behind they were in the 9th hour here. SRT, they are in 7th, and they were about 3 laps behind the Dart team. So it could possibility they could be up in 6th place.
Yeah, I'd say this because I'm just looking back to the 8-hour notes that we had, and they were 5th with Real Racing Limited and Dart both behind them. And they were on the tail of the Humble guys, so I'd just be interested to see if that's their actual position. It's a restriction of the system that we have. Blame Gran Turismo 6 because it doesn't let us do these races properly. Hopefully it'll be fixed for GT Sports. But I just wonder, are they actually a little? Should we keep an eye out for them for a podium in Pro-Am?
Oh, definitely in Pro-Am. They're running, what, third in Pro-Am right now?
Yep.
Yeah. And so they're not far behind, the first place in Pro-Am. But, what are they? They are about 12 laps behind, according to the 9th hour update. So they could possibly come pull a win off if we have something go wrong with wheel racing.
Yep.
And turtle racing.
Bit of contact there between 23 and 7. So Harsk Racing getting involved with Top Notch Racing. Both cars, I don't think have they picked up any damage. Just to let you know as well, AJ's just told me that the lead between first and second is now 7 laps. So those penalties, that penalty and the slow driver change for Reaper Online Racing has really, really properly hurt them. I didn't think it was that much of a gap, but there it is, 7 laps.
Yeah, that's a shame. But as you said, it could have been confusing to them seeing somebody leave the room, and it's not hard to push your button on accident.
Yep. Time's so critical in these things, but the rules are the rules. Here's a confusion. We've got all 3 of the black-coloured cars together. We've got the 48, the 16.
And Dragon Racer has caught Reaper Online, and they're getting ready to pass him.
So this won't be for position, as this is almost 3 wide, and who's that off? It's Dart Racing. We've now got all 4 of the black cars together.
And we have a disconnect. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a red flag here.
It's at the moment it's just the TV. I can write. We're now going from inside the lobby. We've turned into a radio show. It's like Bathurst last year all over again. So it's just the TV.
That's good news.
That's gone out. So let's go back to this battle. It's still John Jig in the lead of it. Ronno Thomas and not Ronno Thomas. Glenn Owls and Bernard the Legend. Bernard the Legend's through. He's past Glenn Owls as they're coming onto the Cooper Straight now. Crazy John is here. Racer Maniac behind them as they're trying to get round the outside of the SRT car. Safety car deployed. Can tell you that. Safety car has been deployed by AJ.
I wonder if that's for the feed purposes.
I think it is. And it's a sensible move because at the moment, for more stewarding reason, we can't properly see what's going on. It's sheer dumb luck that I'm just happening to be in the lobby and giving you a radio commentary at the moment. What's happened here? Ronno Thomas is overtaken, and why is Racer Maniac? Oh, we've got some problems here. Racer Maniac has just overtaken about 4 or 5 cars under safety car.
He's just trying to get a head start for the next green flag.
Might just need to be aware of that because some interesting things. And the 91's now been told to stop. So I think that safety car's caught a couple of people unawares. The 91
is that Squatch on track?
Falling to the back of the pack. But I have to say, it looked like Glenn Owls overtook as well under safety car. So that could be another penalty for the 48.
Yeah, that's putting them right into the hands of who's and the 19 car.
Yep.
The humble guys. So they could be looking at a second place here.
Red flag.
The day's over.
Red flag. Red flag's being shown. I can tell you that from inside the lobby. The red flag's being shown.
Oh, this is going to change things up. I'm wondering who's going to do a driver change. This is going to play into the hands of some people.
FRS Skaters in the pits. So I can tell you from inside the lobby on our little radio show that the order on the track is Turtle Racing League, then Snail Racing League, TNR, Reaper Online Racing, SRT, Dragon Razor Racing, then Harsk Racing,
GTR Blackhawks, Spinning Arrows, Vile Racing Limited, the Humble Guys, and then who's that last one at the back? It is... Excuse me, that's the Dart. It's the Dart car. So, apologies about this, folks. We've had a technical issue with the lobby, which has lost our feed and lost our way of being able to steward the race.
We just got a message from GTP King saying that it's invisible drivers. They aren't knowingly overtaking. So
right.
apparently we have problems with people seeing people.
Thank you, Kane, for that. Thank you for that piece of information. That would explain why.
So hopefully if there's penalties, maybe it's not a heavy penalty, because sometimes that's not knowingly doing that.
Yeah, that's not the driver's fault.
So I'm wondering if this is going to start back up at the top of the hour, being that it's 24 minutes till.
It could well be. Could well be.
Have a 1 hour dash.
Do stick with us, because this race will get back underway. In fact, let's go through the order and have a little rundown of what each of these cars' races have been like. We'll start with the easy one at the top. T&R, top-notch racing. Pretty much faultless throughout today. So they've led over half this race, led it from the early stages. All of their drivers have been exemplary today. They have had a couple of small contact issues. They had a small contact issues with one of the Pro Am cars, the 91 car, with about 3.5, 4 hours to go. That wasn't their fault and resulted in a penalty for the 91. So at the moment, well, after 9 hours, they had logged 416 laps, but since then have pulled out to now a 7-lap lead over the car in second. That car being Reaper Online Racing, number 48. Glenn Howells, GTP Kane, and Ronno Thomas at the wheel of that one. Once again, thanks GTP Kane for that information about the invisible cars. That's invaluable for us here in the commentary box. So their races similarly been very, very good, but just the odd haphazard thing here and there. The main news in the last hour or so was that Glenn Howells accidentally came into the lobby too early and resulted in a penalty for an illegal driver change, or a mistake in the driver change process. They've had they did have one incident as well with the, I think if my memory serves me correctly, the number 95 GTR Blackhawks car, but they recovered from that. So that's where they are in second place. Third place, the Humble Guys. Similarly, a very, very strong run in Pro Am, but have had some issues with disconnections. TSO 40 in particular, but they've still run very, very well when they've been able to get the car running. Vile Racing Limited have had a fairly dramatic day, but they've not been having disconnections, and at the moment that's looking like the more important thing. They've had a very, very squirrely 72 car at times, but at the moment up in fourth place and doing very well. Turtle Racing League have been another really strong car in the Pro Am class today, but just trying to remind myself who had issues with connection. In fact, I don't think any of their drivers had issues with connection, so that might be another one who are definitely in contention for maybe even a podium here today overall, and are doing very well. GTP TV has now rejoined the room, I can tell you, so hopefully we'll be getting the stream back to you very, very soon. Darts Racing, again, not many disconnections, which is why they're up in sixth, but they have had a few off-track excursions with their drivers today, but still running well in this race. 7, another team that's we've not talked about much, and as we said earlier, is more
a sign that they've been doing some very steady running. SRT Racing Team, very good to have them here. First race with them. And hopefully they're going to have a really good first season here in the Sportscar Series. Snail Racing League, a bit of a mix of both good and bad for them. They've had some good pace at times, but some mistakes along the way and a few incidents and off-track excursions have left them further down the order than they would have liked. And they've also had some connection issues. Die Birdie Die was really unlucky with some of his issues earlier in the race with connection. Going on to Spinning Arrows Racing, similarly, I think they've had a couple of connection issues. They've also had a couple of penalties, which is unfortunate, and were 9th at the last hourly update. 10th Endurance Experience, they've had real proper issues with connection, especially for one of their new drivers here today. But they're still running, they're still in the race, and at the last check, he was in their team was in 10th place. Husk Racing, 11th place, and looking through their lineup, once again, a few mistakes off in the gravel on a more regular basis than they would have liked. But they've been showing some really good pace in the last hour or so with Crazy Johnny's here at the wheel. Dragon Razor Racing, what can we say about this team? They've been phenomenally quick. Bernard the Legend, I can tell you, in the last in his last stint is 154 laps with 54.3 his last lap. That was under the safety car, of course. 51.8 is fastest.
We've got the feedback up.
Ah, have we? Ah, that's why, because I'm looking at the YouTube one. There we go. So Bernard the Legend has been doing some fantastic work. That car has had pace, but unfortunately they had real issues with the connection earlier in the race, hence why they're down there. GTR Blackhawks, good pace as well, but they've also another team which have had disconnection issues, hence why they're down in 13th place. And we should mention as well e-Scuderia GTMX, who ran very, very fast early on, were on for a podium, and then had to retire because of connection issues. Right then, so you can see the clock is still running. That will keep running whilst this red flag is out and we get this sorted. So I think you're right, David. I think we can imagine that it will be back up and running for the last hour.
Well, it looks to me like he's added minutes back to the clock. Is it when we? Oh, I'm sorry. No, he didn't. That was I'm wrong. That was 36 that it read. I thought it was 26 that it read. My fault. Go ahead.
No, yeah, that just to say that that's pretty reflective of the lobby time. So the lobby time is currently 7 hours, 31 minutes and 18. Of course, we did have to have a lobby restart as well.
According to AJ, all 3 black cars are together.
I can check that for you. I know we had 4 of them together at one point.
So does that mean that they're on the same lap?
No, I don't think that would be the case.
No, yeah, that's right, because Reaper Online is miles ahead of everybody else in black cars.
It might be that Dragon Razor, Dart and GTR Blackhawks. But
somebody has an exhaust leak.
Yes.
It's a good one. So apparently we have the 68 car out of line. I just saw a message pop up.
So the 68 being Turtle Racing League, that would make sense because currently they're at the front of the field, which they're not in reality because it's the 23.
Unless I just read something wrong. Maybe I read it wrong. I'm sorry. That's my fault.
So we asked you guys earlier what you were looking forward to as your highlight for 2016. Quite simply, what you're racing it in, where you're racing at, and why you think it's going to be your top event for 2016. Put those answers, if you haven't answered already, or if you have answered already, just remind us what you said, of what you're really looking forward to in the GTPlanet Sportscar Series this year.
Have you already said which race that you're looking forward to?
Good question. I don't think I have. I'm not going to say Nürburgring because so many other people have said Nürburgring, so I'm going to be hipster like that and say something else. Spa. I think Spa as a commentator for the racing action that place can produce.
Yeah, the 24 hours is going to be a big one. It's going to be kind of like this, where you got the pros and the pro-ams together, and I'm curious as to how many pro-ams are going to put a whipping on the pros.
So yeah, that's what I would, on a pure commentator standpoint, that's what I would go with. I'm
hoping that it stays dry at Le Mans this year. I'm looking forward to that race as well.
Yes, I missed it last year. Well, where was I last year? It wasn't at Le Mans. It was during my period of the year where I was doing my motorsport things.
I think it rained about 86% of that race. I think it rained. I drove 12 dry laps in that race. The rest of it was rain.
Was it the weekend before or after real Le
Mans? It was in August. I'm not for sure when. And I'd have to go back and look at the date.
Fair enough. I got flooded at real Le Mans this year. Or last year, I should say now. That's what you do if you buy a £30 tent that isn't actually waterproof.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it was the Thursday. If anyone who was at Le Mans this year or aware of the weather events of Le Mans this year, they'll remember that the last night of qualifying on the Thursday was baking hot, and I'm talking as hot as the tropics in Central America. It was really hot, and then it let go in a massive way, a massive thunderstorm on the Thursday night, which kind of carried on into Friday. And I had a little moat inside my tent because it's rubbish. So that was an enjoyable first night ever at Le Mans. But no, to anyone who's not been to Le Mans and has been thinking, oh, is it really that good? What's it about? It really is that good. Oh. It puts, I know it's kind of like the popular thing to bash, but it really does put the Formula One to shame.
Yeah, I would love to put that on my bucket list. I want to go see that. I want to go to the Indy 500. There's a few races in my life that I want to go see, and that's one of them. Where were you at the track?
So I was camping inside Tete Rouge.
Okay.
So I could walk from my tent and be on the bank on the inside of Tete Rouge within 30 seconds. It was a pretty good spot.
That's actually a good spot at the track, yeah.
You could see the struggles of the Nissan quite clearly, because it would have LMP2 cars all over the back of it going into the corner because it was awful through a corner, and then it would get onto the Mulsanne straight and just pull away from it because that was the only thing it was good at.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that maybe it's not going to be in the race this year, but we'll see.
It's gone. It's gone. They've closed the program.
Oh, they took it out?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm talking about for this series, for the sports car series.
Oh, right. I see what you mean.
But we did do some testing with it, and I think it might be running different tires if it runs.
Funny enough, I quite enjoyed it on the game. I don't know why.
It was a hard car to get.
Yeah, I think it's because it's so different to your normal P1 car with the front wheel drive. But
it was hard to keep the tires on it.
Yeah, I can imagine. But yeah, personally excited for Ford coming back this year as a Ford fan myself, so that'll be good. And hopefully the FIA and the ACO won't start spoiling the fun and reining the P1 cars in, because they are just incredible to watch, especially coming out of the corner.
Yes.
The rate at which that Porsche accelerates is comical. You just see it move, and you see something that big move that fast, and you think, how is that possible?
All that downforce.
Yeah. That hybrid technology doing it for them.
I drove the Toyota the other day on project cars, and when you hit that hybrid, it is just ridiculous how much horsepower comes out of that car.
So just to update you on what's going on in the lobby, I'm just going through the processes of going through and resetting the race, and hopefully we will have a 1 hour sprint to finalise the positions here at Brands Hatch. The one shame with the disconnections is that it has spread the field out quite a bit in terms of where people are. I don't think there's any battles where we've got cars separated by a lap or two anymore, but if there are, we'll let you know. Just looking in the YouTube comments from Jordan, we'd love to bring you a leaderboard update, but AJ is only one person. he's busy with getting the race back up and running, but we will bring you a leaderboard update as soon as possible.
I'm going to take a gamble and say once we get up and going that he'll have an hourly update ready for us.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm excited to see this last hour. This is going to be a sprint. There are going to be a lot of people pushing their cars and putting them in places where they probably don't need to be.
Yes. I mean, hopefully it's not too bad, because we don't want to spoil what has been a great race. So, as I say, hopefully we won't have that. People just going through and...
Here we go, the safety cars out.
Yep. Getting their stint pictures sorted out. GTP AJ now at the front of the field in the safety car.
Was there a driver change? GTP Kane just joined the room.
Yes, I wondered about that. I know Glenn Ells did drop out.
Okay.
I'll have to get confirmation that is a legitimate driver change.
I'm surprised that nobody's been asking for one, because this would be the premium time to do that within the last hour.
Yes. You see the questions for whether the 66 is here. At the moment there's 13 cars out on track, and that's including the safety car. But that's not including GTP Kane. So...
Well, somebody did state in the YouTube chat they were going to the bathroom. I'm wondering if that's for the 66.
Might well be.
Glenn can't get signed in, according to YouTube chat.
Well, that will be because GTP Kane's now in the lobby.
Well, he can't get signed into PSN.
Ah, right, at all. So that's why they've done that change.
That would make sense.
I understand.
So that makes it even more interesting, because that'll put them at the back of this line. That might give the 19 car another lap to catch up for them.
Tex36 is the driver of the 66 at the moment. So, I'm not quite sure.
Is his name Jordan by any chance?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I don't have the drivers' names with their screen names. We got some hardcore watchers. They're still hanging in there.
Yeah, we've got 59 people watching. Thank you so much, guys, for sticking around.
And there's the question, and anybody wanting to do a driver change? So we got Crazy John wanting to do a driver change.
No, he's not. He's still. It's this time of the season. New drivers getting normalised to what we do. He's just asking what a driver change is, or what a DC is.
Yes. Well, I was worried about that when I first saw that on the screen last year, and I think that was qualifying. That I saw somebody type that, and I was like, somebody disconnect. It got me all nervous.
Yes, I've had that as well. But that is the prime reason why we have it, so that when someone drops out, it's not are they pitting or is it a disconnect?
Yeah, it's great for the comms box too.
It really is. It's very valuable. Safety car restart in 30 seconds is the latest news. So if you've just joined us and wondering what happened, we had the feed account drop out of the lobby. So imagine from an officiating standpoint, that's a bit of a nightmare because we were pretty much blind. So the race was red flagged. That issue is now fixed, and hopefully we'll be back up and running very, very shortly. With 75 minutes to go, and there goes AJ. The safety car is moving, so we're going to have a safety car restart. The car's filing and the
disconnect
again. You cannot be serious.
I only saw 12 cars on track too.
Just trying to think where the others are. There's one car left on the grid on my screen, which, as I'm circling through, is Tex36. I've just been disconnected from the lobby now.
Uh-oh.
And that's rare. Normally mine's pretty good.
Same here. I've never had problems. Just PSN's just been being a little you-know-what lately. In fact, I got an email yesterday that they're apologizing and they're giving me extra days for my Plus membership. So apparently there's something going on with PSN.
Mass disconnect. We've had a mass disconnect, unfortunately, folks. So this is going to take a while to fix up again.
He was anticipating that. I wonder if this is if this can't get fixed, would this be the end of the race?
Quite possibly.
Because 1300, he said, was his last attempt, right?
Yes. So we started the safety car at 1 hour 15 exactly to go. Well, hopefully we'll be able to get back up and racing, guys, and we will let you know of news as soon as we have it. Unfortunately, I haven't really got much news at all to tell you at the moment, so because I've fallen out the lobby, everything's fallen over. It's all going very well. So do stick around. Do keep the stream live because hopefully we will be back for more racing before the end of 7 o'clock UTC. So actually, no, I do have some news. So the reason for the red, we were anticipating that mass disconnect when the TV fell off. So the red flag was to make sure that we got all stint pictures and everybody giving us data as to what everyone was doing before the mass disconnect actually happened, if you follow my drift.
So, do you have a favorite driver that you're going to be watching this year? That's a good question.
Oh, that is a good question. I think kind of the guys that I remember from last year. So the Chris W265 is one that I remember last year. Going back to that Spa race, which was my highlight of the year. I remember him being in one of the top cars and doing really well in that. Seeing some of the main GTP guys and how they go on. So people like Passam and people like that. I'm also partially biased, but the midweek motorsport guys. So like we say, we've had Sticks TC out there already today. A few of the other guys from that group and that franchise as well. Seeing how they do in the next season, that's who I'm rooting for, really. But as the commentator, I have to be unbiased, so I won't show it as much.
Well, the team that I'm really looking forward to seeing their performance is Team Redline. I mean, they're going to be somebody to look out for, especially in the GT3 series. Also, we don't have the bomb racing in the GT3 series this season, so that's going to make it interesting to see what TNR does. I think they've hired a new driver. His name's Lloyd's Elites, and I think he's going to be somebody to be reckoned with as well. He's got speed like the bomb and Pfeffer and all those guys. So I'm curious to see if TNR can hold up their title against some of the big hitters this year.
Mm-hmm.
We'll find out in a few weeks, though, at Bathurst.
So, in fact, as we're looking for time to fill, let's have a little look through the calendar and what you can expect in the coming weeks and months. So, of course, we've mentioned as well, next week we're at Daytona for the 24 hours. But going on further from that, so the 24 hours for Daytona next week with the DPs, the GTLMs, and the GTDs / GT3 AMs. It's just renamed for Daytona. After that, we're off to Fuji with the GT500 and GT300 cars. The Fuji Speedway GT 500 kilometers. That'll be on the 13th of February. Then we are off for the first of two races at Bathurst at the Mount Panorama Motor Racing Circuit. Firstly, the 12-hour race, the weekend of the 20th to 21st of February, with the GT3 Pros and the TCN1s. Following that, on the 19th to the 20th of March, we've got the Bathurst 6th hour with the TCN1s again and the TCN2s. Then it's one of the highlights of the year, the 24 hours of the Nürburgring with the GT3 Pros, TCN1 and TCN2 classes racing on the combined layout of the Nürburgring. That's the weekend of the 21st to the 22nd of May. Moving into June, and we've got a double header on the weekend of the 11th and 12th of June with the Silverstone 6 hour on the national circuit with the Pro and the Pro-Am classes. That'll be the return of the Fun Cups that we're seeing here today. So they're going to have a 6-hour race before a 10-hour race between the TCN1s and the TCN2s on the international circuit at Silverstone. That'll be on the Sunday, the 12th of June. Then it's one of my highlights of the year, the 24 hours of Spa around the modern circuit layout, the GT3 Pros and the GT3 AMs on the weekend of the 23rd to the 24th of July. Then we're off back to Japan for the 1,000 kilometers of Suzuka on the Grand Prix circuit. Once again, the GT500 and GT300 cars racing the weekend of the 19th through the 21st of August. 2 rounds currently on the schedule to go. The 6-hour Ruhr-Pokolenen on the 10th to the 11th of September around the Type 5 layout of the Nürburgring with the GT3 AMs and the TCN2s. And then last but not least, a return for the Fun Cups with the 25 hours of Spa-Francorchamps on the weekend of the 8th to the 9th of October around the modern circuit. So that is your calendar. If you needed updating on that, there you go. Should mention as well about the WEC style events. Still keep your ears close to the ground on what's happening with those. You know as much as I do. So the time now, 1 hour and 6 minutes to go in this one. As I say, hopefully we'll be able to get back up and running before the end of that time. So do stick around for that. As my Skype has paused and jammed itself again, I'm just going to need to disappear for a moment or two. So do stick around. And David, I hand over to you.
All righty. Well, looking at that schedule that we just talked about, I'm interested in the GT500 class. It seems pretty stacked as well. Knowing that they only have 2 races, they've got to really put it all out there at Fuji so that they come into Suzuka with a good position in the points. I know there's a lot of heavy hitters in that class, and I'm curious with, only having 1,000 meters and 500 or 1,000 kilometers and 500 kilometers as to who's got the best sprint team out there. Those are definitely going to be some good sprint races. If you got any questions in the YouTube chat, feel free to ask. I don't know how much information we can give you because we don't have a lot ourselves, but we are here for that. If you have any questions, anybody out there have their favorite drivers they're looking forward to watching this year, you're welcome to post those. Yes, they are. I think AJ is putting together another room as we speak. So maybe we'll have a stream up here in the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. Hi, Pfeffer. Welcome to the chat. Yes, we are probably done with pit stops for the day. So unless somebody gets heavy damage, you'll be looking at a sprint. And that's going to keep it exciting because everybody's going to be on the same fuel loads and the same tire. Oh, I'm your favorite driver, Pfeffer? Well, that sure is nice of you. I'm sure you won't be saying that at Bathurst in a few weeks, though, when I pass you. No love to Pfeff. Well, according to my Skype, we have no updates yet for AJ, so he's probably pretty busy trying to get this room up and going to get this race completed. And I'm sure he wants to complete this race if we can. So Pfeffer has Kane as his favorite European driver. Pfeffer is showing some love today. Daniel's looking forward to Spa 24. Anybody else got their favorite tracks or drivers that they're looking forward to seeing this year? Feel free to post. Looks like Kane's getting some love in the YouTube chat. Anybody got a prediction on the win today here? Does anybody think that TNR is going to be able to pull it off, or you think they might have some problems? It'll definitely be interesting to see what happens. They've been having such good luck so far this race. It's going to be pretty hard to fill an 8-lap gap. We got a Stiggs is a favorite driver for Daniel. Philo has gotten some love. I got to tell you, the highlight of this race for me today, Burner the Legend has been putting down some solid stuff today. Fast laps consistently, even though they've had all those disconnects. You just got to hand it to them for hanging in there and just trying to give it their all. And we've got to talk about the number 76 car of Endurance Experience. I mean, what a day they've had. You know, they didn't think they were going to be able to come out of last place, but now here they are sitting in the top 10. And who knows where they're sitting right now once we get the hour 10 updates. So that's going to be an interesting situation. So we got a few people not thinking this race is going to restart. I'm going to give it a little more hope than that. I'm thinking either a 45-minute or a 30-minute shootout. Going to kind of look like the end of Spa from 2 seasons ago in 2014 when they had their 15-minute shootout. Anybody else got any questions? Yes, the 39 car retired about 2.5 to 3 hours ago. They just absolutely had no drivers to continue running the race. Anybody new to the YouTube chat this season? This is their first time watching the Sportscar Series. Kane is sensitive to that, huh? Well, I believe it was you, Pfeffer, that lost the race, right? Your team. So wouldn't you be pretty sensitive to something like that? Patrick's putting in his 2 cents of here. He likes Tex and Nail. Respect them for doing this at a not so young age. So I can understand where you're coming from there, Patrick. I race with a few guys in their 50s and 60s. Sounds like we got Andrew back.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can.
Excellent. I've taken my Skype round the back and slapped it round a bit and told it to get on with things.
I think AJ reset it too as well.
Yeah,
So
I just shut it all down and start it up again. Turn it off, turn it on again. It'll be fine. So I'm guessing we're still under red flag.
Yeah, we've got a feed up though. We've got a room up.
Yes. I'm in the room. Currently we've only got one car or one competitor, which is Squatch 7.
I'm thinking since we already had the race neutralized, maybe we can get back up and going with 45 minutes to go and have a good sprint.
Yeah, it's been done before. I think I heard you mention Spa. We had one like that. Nürburgring last year as well. We had a similar one. Where, I've gone very loud apparently.
You sound normal to me.
How's that? Is that better, AJ? You'll let me know otherwise. Who knows? Anyway, so we're slowly getting cars back in the lobby now, I think.
Yeah, I didn't even think to go to the thread and see if he's calling cars in or not. I'll check that out. No, he has not. Well, I'm not on the right page. Yeah, he hasn't started calling cars to the room yet, so. Oh, wait, he has.
Yeah, so we've started to get a few. So we've got XRAD 11 now able to join us. So XRAD 11 in the Snail Racing League car. Car's now starting to load to the pits. So knowing these things as we've done in the past, I reckon we could get back up and running and have a 45-minute jolly dash to the end.
Yeah, being that the cars were already stopped when the room crashed, I think that's very possible.
And just to explain to everyone, I think what's happened is the TV. So for you guys who probably aren't aware, the stream that you see is a spectator cam within the practice sessions. So the account holding that fell over and flopped out of the lobby. The error code that we had indicated that we were pretty much on the cusp of a mass disconnection, which we were able to catch, and at least by doing that, no one's lost too much time. That's as far as I understand it. I must admit, I'm not up to speed on these technical things. I'm getting old. I don't understand it anymore.
Yeah, I think that's what AJ was explaining to us earlier, and it's kudos to him that that he caught that, because this could have been pretty bad. He apparently got an error code that was hinting to him that there was going to be a crash. So.
So we're starting to see cars coming into the pit lane now. We've got Squatch 7 in there, XRAD 11's in there as well. Little Regret 265. Good to see him back. TNR, they're back in. Logic Line, he's back in as well. Logic Line for the SRT racing team. So, yeah, we're getting somewhere. So continue to bear with us, guys. Thank you for sticking with the stream. We're also waiting on a hourly update. But let's run through the last one we had, which was after 9 hours. And this is what the field looks like at that stage. In the lead were Top Notch Racing, leading by 1 lap from Reaper Online Racing. We know now that gap has grown dramatically with the troubles that Reaper Online Racing had in the last couple of hours to, we think, at least 7 laps now. Third place were the Humble Guys, but they had connection issues as well since this last update was produced. They had completed 401 laps. Fourth were Real Racing Limited. Fifth were Turtle Racing League, but I reckon that might be missing a stint picture or two. Sixth were Dart. Seventh were SRT Racing Team. Eighth were Snail Racing League. 9th, Spinning Arrows Racing. 10th, Endurance Experience. 11th, Harsk Racing. 12th, Dragon Razor Racing. 13th, GTR Blackhawks. And 14th and retired were eScuderia GTMX. Local time is 8 minutes past 8:18 of the hour. So we've got 53 minutes before the checkered flag is shown here. Can start to see cars in the pits. Four cars in the pits at the moment and 1 in the paddock. Still waiting for a good number of cars, though. A good number of people to join the lobby now. 5 cars in the pits. Starting to see a few more cars coming to the pits now. Burner the Legend is now coming back in, so we're getting there slowly but surely. It's probably looking more like at 40 minutes before we can get this one back up and running. Can trust you that Race Control are doing all they can to get this one back up and running. If you want to review the racing that we have had here today, you can view these streams back if you go to the YouTube channel or return to the YouTube channel, and these will be available on demand for you. You can go back and watch last year's racing as well, especially with Daytona coming up next week. Why not go back and review last year's Daytona race? It was quite a special one from start to finish. We will, of course, have coverage of that race. Staff dependent, hopefully we'll have continuous uninterrupted coverage of it as well. We'll be letting you know what we're doing with that later this week.
Yeah, with these problems, you got to wonder if QP3 and 4 are going to happen today with Daytona as well.
Yes, yeah, that's going to be tricky. I think I've heard as well on the grapevine that there were troubles with qualifying for this one last night. So yeah, it's hopefully the software engineers can pull the finger out and get this sorted, because it is annoying.
Yeah, I think PS3 is on its last year or two before it finally just moves all over to PS4.
Yeah. Six cars now in the pit lane, so we're still waiting on another 7 to be able to come in. Apologies, I'm not quite sure what the hold-up is at the moment.
Well, if they're having the same problem I did where you just don't load to the room, that could be what's our holdup.
Yeah.
But as of right now, AJ's only called 6 cars to the room, and I'm sure he's just waiting for those
okay.
2 guys to connect. And if they can't connect, that's holding up everybody else.
Mm-hmm. So we've got Gran Turismo Sport coming soon. As far as I'm aware, unless things have changed, I must admit I don't always keep my ear as close to the ground as I should. April, we've got beta coming. How are you? Are you looking forward to that game? Are you looking forward to the changes that are going to be in that game?
Well, from what I'm reading, right now there's only 2 locations that are going to be on that game, unless they've updated it, and only about 11 cars. So I'm still curious as to what's going to happen with that.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm more excited about the PlayStation VR. I'm curious as to how that's going to work with the racing.
Yeah.
I've been reading a lot about that on GTPlanet, how they have to run an AC adapter just to be able to run racing on it.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. But yeah, definitely excited about GT Sport. I just hope that they come out with some more tracks that we can compete on.
Yep.
And I'm wondering if that's what we're waiting on to find out when the prototype cars are going to run.
Yeah, I'm afraid I personally don't know much about what's going on that front. But we will know in due course of what's going on there. Just looking at some of the comments. Road Rage Dudes says he's transferring to PS4 for GT7, GT Sport, and Project Cars. I'm having real trouble with Project Cars at the moment because I've had to go back to a pad and it's just a whole heap of no. I just can't do it. Well, not with manual gearbox anyway. But yeah, here's a question to people who will know. New steering wheels. What should I buy? What's the best? What's the worst? Let me know, and I'll take your much more experienced opinions into consideration.
As far as me, I just upgraded to the T300. I had the G27.
Yep.
I have a friend that just bought a G29. The reason I favor in the 300 over that, it's $50 cheaper, and it has the brushless motor.
Yeah.
Which is great. The only thing I'm not liking right now is the rubber steering wheel compared to the leather. But I think they have upgraded wheels that you can purchase with the T300. So right now it's my favorite.
I did try a Thrustmaster. I must admit I can't remember which spec it was yesterday at Autosport Show. They had Sebastian Loeb Rally, the new one, set up. But for a worn out wheel, because it had kids climbing all over it for 3 days and you could tell it had been bashed around a bit. It didn't feel too bad. I quite like the pedal feel on it, especially on the brakes.
Yeah, I just bought the T3PA Pro pedals. I'm still having a hard time adjusting with the throttle on the GT6 because it's lighter than my throttle from the G27. I upgraded the braking spring in the G27, so I put the old braking spring as my throttle and had a pretty stiff throttle. But on Project Cars, it's more about throttle control in that game, and there's better throttle response. Yeah. So it seemed to work itself out when I moved over to the PS4. But I do love the progressive braking on this pedal. It is awesome.
There's quite a few of you guys saying T300s, so thank you. I'll have a little look into that and see what I can do. Just to let you know, we've now got 11 cars back in the lobby and active, so we're waiting on Endurance Experience to rejoin. And just as I say that, GTP Kane rejoins as well. So we're getting there. We're getting pretty close to everyone being able to get back out on track. Time remaining 44 minutes. So fingers crossed we are going to get a little bit more racing. I can see movement of a car. I suspect it's going to be AJ in the safety car. Yes, it is. So AJ going round to the pit straight. Here's one good thing about the Indy circuit. Well, there's many good things about the Indy circuit, but a really good thing right now is it's not going to take too long for us to get this grid formed.
Yeah, just think if we were at NERB or Le Mans.
Yeah.
Actually, I think they start backwards anyway, down the backstretch, so...
So AJ now out on track, coming through, I can tell you, through Graham Hill Bend. Drivers just checking at the moment how many cars they can see, because this is probably one of the most crucial things, that everybody can see everybody else, so they should be seeing 14 cars out on track at the moment, i.e. the 13 competitors and the safety car. Oh, I've just realised the other sad thing about this red flag. I've lost all my timing. All that lovely data. It's all just gone away.
But now you got fresh data that you're going to get from everybody. Crazy John's only seeing 10.
Yeah, that's a problem. That is a real problem if Crazy John can only see 10 cars because everybody else is seeing 14.
It just might be a matter of him having to rejoin.
Yep. So now we've got to just wait for the cars to be called out onto the grid. We've got 42 minutes remaining in this one. You're watching live coverage of the third running of the London 12 Hours here on GT Planet. It's the first round for the 2016 GTPlanet Sportscar Series, renamed for this year, but still all the same fun that we had with the Endurance Series last year. So Haas Gaming are just having to reset their equipment, and then hopefully they'll come back in, see everybody else on the screen, and we'll get back up and underway.
Flip just mentioned a set of cores are coming out.
Yes.
I tried to view that the other day. I went on a road trip and visited one of my drivers. I visited the bomb, and he tried to load it up for me, but it wasn't working at the time. So I can't wait to see that come out. I've never driven that game yet, so I'm curious.
So we're going to line these cars up in the order in which I think they were on the grid when we called the red flag, because Turtle Racing League, who I do clearly remember were at the front of that order, have just been called out to the pits, to the grid, sorry. They're just making their way round Druids now. 92 is next, so this will be your order. 68, Turtle Racing League, with Little Regret 265 at the wheel, will be at the head of this queue. The next car will be XRAD 11 in the 92, the Snail Racing League. That's the white car. The 23 is next for Top Notch Racing, current leaders of the race. So they will be third, and after that I think it's another one of the AM cars. So there, can see just coming out now is the number 23 with TNR 5 Zygon at the wheel. Then it should be Squatch 7. Squatch 7 in one of the AM cars. Spinning Arrows Racing will be out there. Then it's Logic Line coming out after that. Actually, apologies. Logic Line is the fifth car out on track. "39 minutes to go here on this one. So Logic Line going round in the number 65, the bright pink Storage Trunks SRT Racing Team machine. Haas Racing have rejoined. Here comes now the next one is the 16. The very fast, but unfortunately quite low down the field due to problems with the car and connection, Dragon Razor Racing. Burn of the Legends still at the wheel of that one. Next car out are the GTR Blackhawks, GTR Racer Mechanic at the wheel of that one. And after that, it will be the 72 of Vile Racing Limited. Be honest, not quite sure who's at the wheel of that one, because of course that is a local team, so we don't see a change of PSN account when they do their driver changes. There is a process for local driver changes being done, which they've done very well so far today. After that, the 19 of the Humble Guys will be out on track, and then the 66 of Dart. There's a spin for the 72 as they're going round to the grid. Harsk Racing now being requested to go back out on track. We'll see which driver they've got in there. Scorpion out there for Dart and TSO 40 for Humble Guys. Squatch 7 I can see is out there for in the 91. And last but not least, well, here comes the Endurance Experience car, the number 76, with Skater at the wheel. And here we go. Yes, the 7 is back up and underway, and I think they can see all the cars as well, which is very, very good news. So all cars now back out on track. No, I tell a lie. They're not back out on track because we've still got to get the 48 out there as well. Number 7 has been told to stop. Because he's, yes. The number 7 has come out the pits, gone the wrong way, and then tried to drive up the grid. So, yeah, interesting way of doing things.
If he would have had Herbie driving that car, he would have gotten it right the first time.
There we go. It's Crazy John turning around now. Yeah, we've got to do a full lap.
He's holding up to his name, ain't he?
My goodness me. As I say, a good tactic on the Nürburgring, not on a 1.9 kilometer Diddy circuit like the Indy circuit. He's also off the road. In the pits at the moment, AJ, if you can hear me, is GTP Kane for the number 48. But I like his username. It's clear. It's to the point. You won't forget it. His name is John. He's crazy, and he's here. So
you got that one right.
What more do you want? My goodness, Jay Starscream. He says, "Damn it, Herbie! Leave that damn Lancia alone."
Surprised anybody remembers that movie. It's so old. 60 seconds for restart.
60 seconds for a safety car restart. So we'll go back round again. And hopefully, with just over half an hour to go, we'll get this one back and underway. We're just waiting for... There is GTP Kane just joining the back of the field now. And very shortly, we'll be back up and underway.
Hold on to your pants, everyone. This is going to be a good one.
This is going to get interesting into this first corner.
Cold tires are going to be the fun one of this one.
So we're waiting for the safety car to pull away. And there we go. AJ now starts to drive the BMW pace car. And we will start this single file safety car restart. One lap of the Indy circuit. And then we will be back and underway with just over 30 minutes to go. The pit entry is now closed. So just to run you through the order again, in the queue of cars are in. Behind the safety car is the Turtle Racing League green 68 machine. Then it is the Snail Racing League white car.
then the race leader, the number 23.
We just got a big pile up in the back.
Have we?
5-car pile up in the back.
Oh, yeah, I can see that now. And I can see that on my screen again now. Sorry, I was watching the front of the field on the lobby screen.
Yeah, it's happening on YouTube at this moment, if you look at it.
Yes, it is.
Ugh.
Oh, well.
They're going to have to pit.
What happened there? I'm afraid we did see this at the start of last season as well. Safety car restarts were sometimes a little bit messy. And once again, it's one of those. It is hard. It is hard on online racing when you've got things like that going on, and it's the nature of the beast. Safety car is staying out. Scorpion is reporting damage.
Yeah, the one thing I always tell my team is to leave a 3-4 car gap just to make sure somebody isn't drastically stopping.
So we are now officially in the race because the safety car is staying out. Into the pits comes the Haas Racing car. Crazy John now falling to the back of the train. Skater's also in for endurance experience, and Scorpion for the I think that is Scorpion in the Dart car. Yes, it is. Cars now filing back out. Little Regret 265. Little Regret 265 has been told to go round to the back of the field. So people have got to be careful that they don't hop in front of cars they shouldn't be. So it was the 7, the 66, and the 76 that had pit stops there. And there's more bumping and barging at the back of the field. So I think you're right, David. Some drivers need to be told that under these conditions, they need to keep a space. They need to keep apart. It's the cars at the back of the field.
It's just a matter of paying attention. I mean, we're not even to the front stretch, you know.
So a bit better now, the gaps between the cars at the back of the field, but this is not helping when we've lost a lot of time anyway, that we need to get this race back up and underway. Squatch 7 into the pits again. So that's sorry, not again. But that's now 4 cars that have had to make pit stops. Crazy John is in again, and Little Regret is in as well.
You know, we do have rookies, and maybe they're just not used to the pace lap. But that's why we have these races, you know, to learn in the big races.
And in a way, hopefully it won't matter too much, because as we've said, most cars are pretty spread apart in terms of laps and where they are.
Yeah, I'm curious as to where that 19 car is right now behind Reaper once we get an update.
The 19 being, of course, the Humble Guys. Yeah, we still don't really know because they had their disconnection issues.
And Reaper lost 7 laps to the leader, so how many laps did they lose to 19?
Now we've got a bit of confusion at the back of the field as the cars that pitted on that last time around are trying to get themselves to the back and in proper order. I think they're about ready now. Yes, they are.
We're up to 62 people watching now. That's the highest we've had, ain't it?
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to live coverage of the last 28 minutes of the third running of the London 12 Hour. If you're wondering what on earth is going on right now, we did have a red flag for a mass disconnection not that long ago, and this is us trying to get the race back up and underway. We will get it back up and underway, and at the moment we're under safety car conditions until everyone is set and safe and ready to go. Green flag, there we go. the safety car comes into the pits, and we are back up and underway here at Brands Hatch. Down to the first corner. I've got two screens going. I can tell you that the leader is nice and clear. There is the leader, the number 23.
Oh, we got 2 wide. Right behind the leader, we have 2 wide with SRT Racing. Oh, they sorted it out.
So it's frenetic stuff in the middle of the pack, but the important thing for TNR is that they are in the lead and they are clear of the chasing pack. Everybody's still behaving themselves towards the back. Nobody's fallen off the road yet, but I'm looking at the Humble guys having a lot of that Snail Racing League white car driven by XRAD 11 in their rearview mirror. But at the end of the first lap of green for a good, 90 minutes, it's still TNR in the lead of this race, ahead of the 16, Bernard the Legend in second. Then it's Logic Line in third, GTP Kane fourth, Racer Maniac fifth. GTP Kane making his way through this field very, very nicely. It's probably going to be too much too late to be able to take the win, unless TNR have some form of dramatic incident that stops them being able to complete laps in these last 26 minutes. But they're still pushing nonetheless, and GTP Kane is scything through the order, I can tell you, further back. So TNR pulling away, but TNR and Bernard the Legend pulling away. Let's go back to live timing and have a little look at what's going on. At the moment, we've got low 52s going on. Bernard the Legend with a 52.1 last time around. As there's a spin, I can tell you, on the mini-map. It's GTR Racer Maniac who's had a spin for the GTR Blackhawks, the number 95 machine. One of those where he's gone completely to driver's right and actually off the camera shot, but he is going again now. 25 minutes to run then here at Brands Hatch for the first round.
We got another spin. It looks like it's harsh.
I think that was Endurance Experience. Yes. Endurance Experience having a little slip and slide there through turn 3 as the light starts to fade here at Brands Hatch. It must be summer Brands Hatch because it's very dark here in the UK now, looking out of my window. But anyway, 24.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, it should be getting dark at this time. Their headlights are starting to glow, though.
There is the recovering Harsk gaming car with Crazy John is here at the wheel, now trying to get past the Snail Racing League car. And we've had some good fun with Crazy John in the last couple of hours whilst he's been out on track. Great addition to the series, if you ask me. Currently XRAD 11 at the wheel of the Snail Racing car is very wide and very kicking up a lot of dust there. Was Turtle Racing League and Little Regret 265, but he manages to hold on to it. We've got, look at this. Beautiful. We've got a update. So just bear with me to get this on the right screen. I can put it for you guys. So here we go then. The order after 11 hours was as follows. Top Notch Racing, of course, in the lead of the race, having completed 512 laps. Second, Reaper Online Racing on 505. Third and leading Pro-Am, the Humble guys, on 470 laps. Fourth and second in class were Turtle Racing League on 458. Fifth and third in Pro-Am, Vile Racing Limited with 457 laps. Sixth, Dart on 442. Seventh and third in Pro, great recovery from Dragon Razor Racing. 437 laps completed now for them.
8th, Storage Trunks SRT Racing Team on 426 laps completed. 9th, Snail Racing League on 420 laps completed. 10th, Endurance Experiences. There's a whole heap of something going on in Druids there between the Pro-Am cars.
We had two wide and 2 lines.
Back to the rundown. 10th Endurance Experience with 385. 11th GTR Blackhawks on 383. So that's a close battle that could still change position between now and the end of the race. 12th Husk Racing on 375 laps. There's a spin and off goes the 92, which is of course Snail Racing League. I was just saying that they're potentially still in a battle.
We got 2 cars in the pits.
It is X-Rad 11, of course, in the Snail Racing League, and Squatch 7 in the 91. In the 91 Spinning Arrows, they're pretty much out of it. They're last of the runners at the moment in 13th from 325 laps. I apologise. It's not either of those cars involved in the potential battle. The potential battle then is Endurance Experience on 385 versus GTR Blackhawks on 383 laps.
That's a pretty close match right there.
Hmm.
I'm curious if Burner the Legend has caught and passed TNR yet. They were gaining on them the last I saw them on the stream. We got a pass going on here with the number 7 car of Harsk Racing. Oh! And the Humble guys went off track. Now we've got the Turtle Racing League catching up with the Humble guys. 2 wide. Oh, there's contact and Turtle's off the track. Oh, he saved it. Let's see if they can regain their composure and make an attack back on the Humble guys here. Still riding with the 19 car. Coming down into Paddock Hill Bend. Up into Hale Woods Hill. Pushed a little wide there. Looks like we got a gaggle of cars right behind them. Getting ready to come together. Looks like the Humble guys have got their stuff together here and are starting to pull away. Oh, we got a warning with the 91 car, avoidable contact with the 92 car. So the 91 car is Spinning Arrows Racing. So I don't know if that's their 4th warning yet, but if they get 4 warnings, then they'll have a penalty. So we'll see where that goes. Oh, Turtle Racing is off in the sand.
Yeah, it's not been a good last few laps for Turtle Racing League.
We had a warning on the 91 car.
Yeah, I saw that. So I presume that'll have been... will that have been for the contact with the... Yeah, it was the contact with the 92, wasn't it?
Yes.
So I think it's Squatch 7 still at the wheel. Yes, it is Squatch 7 at the wheel of the blue 91 car. And of course, they've already picked up 2 penalties today, one which was also for contact-related reasons. 18 minutes to go then in this one. Still a lot could happen. A little note from AJ that's just come through to us. The 92 was recovering to the pit, 91 was reckless and hit the car. That's what that was for, that warning. Here's the 48 you can see on screen. And they'll just I think, a little bit frustrated today because they could have won this race with a bit of better luck. They're trying to get past the Snail Racing League car at the moment. But then again, it would have taken a very, very big effort to beat TNR today. They've pretty much run this race perfectly, apart from the odd little thing here and there.
Yeah, they usually don't have a lot of things go their way, but recently, they've been pretty good about having good luck.
Reaper Online Racing, GTP Kane, I should say, if you missed that during the red flag, they were the only team to do a driver change, which was Glenn Alls getting out of the car and GTP Kane in for what were this last 28-minute bit of a mini race at the end of this 12-hour race. 48 still trying to get past the 92. The 92 driver at the moment is X-Rad 11. And doing a very, very good job at keeping the 48 behind. Just to say that the 48 gets past with a nice clean move down into Paddock Hill Bend. Just to let you know, on the times front, Bernard the Legend, currently the fastest car on the road since we restarted with a 51.972. TNR5 Zygon of 51.982. Then GTP Kane with a 52.3. FRS Skater, quickest of the Pro-Ams at the moment with a 52.8. But just to ask you, David, will the cars now be having reset? Will the cars be heavy with fuel?
Oh yes.
Yes.
This is where people are going to have to really bear down and drive the car, because this is when it's at its toughest. I think towards the end of the race here, the cars will lighten up and you'll see some faster times.
Sure thing. So with 15 minutes to go here at Brands Hatch, the third running of the London 12-hour, the light is starting to go. You can
We got
really
to spin.
see.
We got to. Oh, he recovered.
So that's the number. Oh no, there's another spinner in the background. Oh, was that?
That was the same car
car.
I was looking
Yeah.
at. Yeah. I think I'm a few seconds ahead of you for some reason.
So there's both yellow-coloured cars had moments coming out of Paddock Hill Bend. The second one a bit more spectacular than the first. New fastest lap since we went back to green for TNR5 Zygon of 51.914. So TNR not giving up in terms of keeping this car running quick. 15 minutes remaining officially. And TNR are not giving up on making sure that this car gets to the finish very, very quickly indeed.
Yeah, they don't know how to turn down their level 10. They stay on a level 10 the whole time. And I like that about them. It shows their passion.
And I know it's also been said as well. There was the famous Senna incident, of course, where he backed off at Monaco and then lost his rhythm and crashed and lost the race. That if that's the position in which Five Zygon is most comfortable, go with it. It's absolutely the right thing to do.
I have that same problem. If I back off, I lose my rhythm. And we have a checker flag will be shown to the leaders next time. I didn't get to read all that.
That was at the next time they cross the line after we see the 1 hour on the lobby time.
Got it.
So I will let you know as soon as we see that 1 hour mark. It's currently reading 46 minutes and 42 seconds. Current leader, of course, is confirmed there is the 23, which is TNR5 Zygon, and he's got a fairly clear track ahead of him. You can see on the screen. It's coming through Paddock Hill Bend, through one of the best corners in the whole country, and then up towards Druids, this tricky right-hander, running it out to the curb on the left-hand side, then down the hill into Graham Hill Bend, through their beautiful line onto the Cooper Straight and towards the back end of circuit.
Looks like he's pulled a lead out on the 16 car.
Yeah, he has.
Unless that was the 16 car in front of him that I just saw.
No, the 16 is yeah. It's been a long day.
Oh, there
the
they are.
car, one car back. So the car that you can see in the background of the shot when we see the 23 is the 16. The 16 though is going very quickly. The 16 now has the fastest lap in the last half an hour, a 51.889 set by Burner the Legend.
Such a shame that they had those disconnects. I think
It
this would have
really
been
is, yeah.
a pass for the race right here.
Yeah. It would have been a real treat to see them fight up at the front. But we've still got a whole season for that to still happen at some point, and I'm sure it will. Under 12 minutes to go now then, with TNR leading by 7 laps from Reaper Online Racing. And we've got to give a shout out to these guys as well. The Humble guys, first time in the series, in the Pro-Am class, and they've had connections issues as well. Let's not forget that. But in terms of their racecraft, they haven't put a foot wrong all day, and they're leading Pro-Am with 11.5 minutes to go. Absolutely fantastic effort from these guys.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I mean, that's to show the rest of the league that, you know, they're here to play, and I think they're going to be a team to watch out for.
So if you missed our after 11 hours update, which was effectively the standings at the time of the red flag and at the start of the safety car restart, the Humble guys 3rd overall, 1st in Pro-Am, and leading the Pro-Am class by 12 laps. Really good effort by them. 470 laps under their belts today. There's a bit of a tango there between the pink 65 machine and the number 7. So that's SRT versus Hask Racing. Should remind you as well, of course, that the results are provisional at this time. Asia's just reminded me that they've got to look at driver limits before the results are official. And there's been more disconnects as well, so we've got to compensate for those as well. So do bear that in mind, guys. New fastest lap from TNR5 Zygon last time around of this, I should stress, of this last half hour. A 51.867. I know there were a few 51.7s in the previous lobby setup that we had, and we're under 10 minutes to go now in this one.
That's an impressive lap time with that fuel in the car. He did that 51.7 with lighter fuel, and so that's pretty impressive off the bat.
So we're probably about 10 laps from the end of this one. 25 laps done so far since we got back up and underway, with 28 or 29 minutes to go. Oh, that was when we went green. We actually set off from the grid, I think, with about 32 minutes. We had a few laps of safety car before we got this one back up and under green. A little bit of dust being kicked up by, oh my goodness, the number 19's having a reel off, and
he saved that car. Wow,
that was a real heart in mouth moment. I thought the number 19 and their chances of the win were going to end up in that wall on driver's left.
That was scary.
Yeah, 33 minutes run on the clock is when we had the safety car restart. 8 minutes and 23 seconds to run, and everyone just playing it fairly steady apart from the Humble guys who seem to want to throw this one away. Please don't do that again to me, boys. Here's the leader of your race, Top Notch Racing, and they really have been top notch today, showing the rest of the field how it's done, how to organise your team through the race.
Getting ready to start lapping the field.
Yeah, it's got the 68 of Turtle Racing League ahead of them. Turtle Racing League at the moment with Little Regret 265 at the wheel. who's in the mid-53s at the moment, and there goes through the leading car, driven by 5 Zygon. Still Burner the Legend doing some good lap times as well in the low 52s. GTP Kane 52.6, TSO 40 52.8. Crazy John is here, also in the mid 52s. Here's the 65 of SRT Racing Team, at the moment provisionally 8th, looking to get past the number 7 with Crazy John at the wheel of the Harsk Racing car. And with another yellow car behind him. Go ahead.
He looks like he's catching the 7 there.
Yes, Crazy John, I think, struggling with the traffic a little bit. The last lap time for the number 65 was a 53.3, and the fastest lap Logic Line has done since we restarted. And yeah, just trying to close in a little bit. A few green lap times on the board at the moment. GTP Kane's just come across the line and done a 52.2. 6 and a bit minutes to go in this one. And it's been a long and hard race for a lot of these teams, and every single one that gets to the finish should be given a pat on the back, because I think a lot of drivers have learnt a lot of things about their cars, their teams and themselves in the preparations for the rest of the season. And who knows, maybe we'll look back at this race for Top Notch Racing as the race where their luck really did turn. They've had, as David Griffin said, a lot of bad luck last year, but a lot of speed nonetheless. And they've got it all together today and put in a really good performance as a whole team.
Yeah, they had taken the lead at Spa, and they got involved in a wreck, and then had a penalty for driver change. And today they have had none of that, and that's good.
Nürburgring, they were quick as well last year. Remember, they led for a bit but had issues.
Yes.
Bit of encouragement as well for GTP John Jig. Hello, Phil Laycock. Thanks for joining us here at the end of this race. Chris W265 has just left the room. That's the local team. That's Vile Racing Limited. Why has that happened?
I hope it's not another series of disconnects.
Yeah, I hope that is not a disconnect right at the end of the race, because that is a car that is potentially on for a class podium. They were 5th overall, having completed 257 laps at the 11-hour mark. Makes things a little bit more comfortable for Turtle Racing League, who'd only completed 1 more lap than them. We'll keep an eye out for where they are and whether they come back. Here's the 65 rather.
So they're about 15 laps ahead of Dart. So if they can get back in, Chris just joined.
Yeah, if they can get back up and underway, they'll hold that position. But any hope of taking that second place in class is probably gone now. 4 minutes, to go. Or 3 minutes and 43 seconds if you're being exact. And I think the guys at the front are just pacing it home now. 52.8 last time around for 5 Zygon, so he's probably got 4 more laps to complete. 4 or 5 more laps. I say that, he's pushing the track limits there on the exit of Graham Hill Bend, going up the Cooper Straight now.
Yeah, I don't know Zygon any other than push the limits.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his style, and so if it works for him, good for him.
Well, yeah, he's just set the fastest Sector 2 time since we restarted. Just as you do. Sticks in at 14.4. 3 minutes remaining.
Is that Real Racing in the pits?
That was Real Racing coming out of the pits again and back out on track after their disconnect. A 52.1 last time around for 5 Zygon. But this team of Stiggs TC, 5 Zygon, TNR Philo and TNR Pfeffer. What a race they have had. They haven't put a foot wrong all day. And they've had some challenges along the way. They've had some close contact with other drivers, as is inevitable in a 12-hour race on such a small circuit. But they've managed their race well. They've not got overawed by the occasion. And with just over 2 minutes to go, this would be a fantastic victory for Top Notch Racing.
Yeah, to be able to avoid everything that they have avoided today, you got to give them some kudos.
Spinner on the pit straight. I'm just cycling through the minimap to see who it was. It was Little Regret 265, but it's just a simple slip into the gravel, no contact, back up and underway. Under 2 minutes now to go. As here is your race leader of 7 laps. As there's another spinner. GTP Kane has spun. Oh, the number 16. Yeah, I can tell you was off on the run up to Druitt.
Here we go.
We'll keep our eyes on the leader, though.
He made it through clean. I don't think there's any damage.
There'll be this lap. Will there be another lap afterwards? Yes, there'll be this lap and
there'll be 2
more.
laps. Yes.
This next lap, and one more for TNR5 Zygon to complete to win the London 12-hour. There's a cloud of dust as one of the Pro-Am cars are off.
Pit car off.
It's the SRT Racing team who are off, and there's another spinner there.
Spin.
And who was that? That was
I think
either,
that was Ding Dirt's experience, wasn't it?
Might have been. It was either them or.
Oh wait, that was number 7.
There's a lot of cars off in the background there.
Oh.
I think there's 3 cars off in the background. I have no idea what's going on there. Crazy John's involved.
Wheel Racing just slammed hard into the guardrail. That's like a 3-car. Is this a safety car? Or is this going to be yellow?
You've been running again for now. The incident is cleared. There's no more cars out on that part of the track. Here we go then. Last lap.
White flag.
TNR 5 Zygon coming down Paddock Hill Bend. Just 1.5 kilometres probably to go as we're counting down. Yes, we have now crossed the hour mark in the lobby time. So this is officially the last lap for 5 Zygon. His teammates, Stiggs TC, TNR Philo and TNR Pfeffer will be, wherever they are in the world, absolutely elated with this. It's a fine, clear track for TNR 5 Zygon as he comes round the final corner. He won't catch those 2 cars before the end of the race. Here comes TNR 5 Zygon round the last corner onto the pit straight up against the pit wall, and it's a fantastic first win of 2016 for Top Notch Racing as they take the win here at the 12 hours of London, the London 12 hours, as there's a brilliant little drive in there from AJ in the safety car.
I'm sorry to laugh, but that was funny.
There you go.
AJ was doing the celebration for him.
Let your hair down at the end of a 12-hour race. But there is your winner, guys, with a provisional result. The number 23 of Top Notch Racing take the win here today at Brands Hatch in this 12-hour race, this first race of the GTPlanet Sportscar Series for 2016. We're just waiting for other cars to finish. Just to let you know, we're just waiting for the last car of the line is going to be the Pro-Am winner. Here come THG. They win, provisionally, they win the Pro-Am class on their first outing in the GT Planet Sportscar Series. What a race, what a day it has been here at Brands Hatch. And I can confirm everybody's made it over the line, everybody's home safely, and that's the most important thing.
You got to congratulate the Humble guys, all rookies, new to this series, and they podiumed and beat some pro guys today. That's awesome. Awesome work for those guys.
Just to let you know about the little incident we saw on the last lap, we didn't really have a chance to speak about. Little Regret 265 has damage down the right-hand side of the car, and Chris W265 has a lot of damage. That car is wrecked, for want of a better word, And the other car that I saw with damage, Crazy John is here, a lot of damage. So there's at least 4 cars out there that are very badly bruised at the end of this one. Logic Line is the other car. So Logic Line front tyres out. Little Regret 265, everything down the right-hand side. Chris W265, everything including engine but the rear right. And where was the other one?
We lost Crazy John. I'm wondering if
Crazy John's disappeared, and he had everything but front.
I hope he took a picture before you left.
I hope he did as well. Otherwise, that's gonna lose those guys
a lot of laps.
And potentially lose out to Spinning Arrows. But there you go. What a race! What a way to open the season here on the GTPlanet Sportscar Series. Let's just run through. We don't think there were any major changes. So here's a provisional result, if you were, for the race results. Winning the London 12 Hours, the third London 12 Hours, was the number 23 Racing with Sticks TC, TNR5 Saigon, and TNR Philo and TNR Pfeffer 702 at the wheel. Second place was the 48 of Reaper Online Racing with Glenn Alls 81, GTP Kane and Ronno Thomas taking part in that car. Third and winning Pro-Am was the number 19, the Humble Guys, THG, Kemo Simok, TSO40 and Zebulin in that one. Fourth place and second in Pro-Am, the Turtle Racing League car, the number 68, Dolph Drago, Little Regret 265, Randy 1122 and Vitesse Kid in that team. Fifth place, Vile Racing Limited, Chris W265, Heather Ant, Jack Shea and John Hope. Sixth place, Dart, GTP Mad Max, Nail 27, Scorpion PHVH 57 and Tex 36. Seventh place, Dragon Razor Racing, Burner the Legend, GTP Bambi, Peels to 1 and Sinister Plague. We think they also took the fastest lap of the race. Eighth, Storage Trunks SRT Racing Team, GTP John Jig, Guitar 3 Reach, Logic Line and Mr. Racing Line. Ninth place, Snail Racing League, Coach MK21, Die Birdie Die, and Jam Car 1 and X-Rad 11 right at the end there. 10th place, Endurance Experience, Crawler 69, Fallen Log, SK8R and KTZ. 11th place, GTR Blackhawks, Giuseppe, GTR Racer Maniac, GTR Venturi, and 1SL 6 Evans 6872. 12th place, Hask Racing, Crazy John is here, Haas Gaming 96, J Star Screamin', Mon Gnomom. I'm going to need to learn how to say that one properly. Someone please help me on that. 13th, Spinning Arrows Racing, Alex Mavis, Squatch 7, the EH team, the Air team, the A team, whatever you want it to be. WTF, man, they were 13th. And the single retiree from the race, the East Scuderia GTMX team, I think we'll see next week at Daytona as well. Alpha Anti 44, Hecto 1, JMML 94, and Oscar in that one. Those were your runners and riders in the third GTPlanet London 12 Hour. Dave Griffin, would you like to say some few words to wrap up at the end of that one?
Well, I'd just like to thank AJ for allowing me to be a comms guy today. This was my first experience. It seemed a little awkward at first, but I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. And thank you for helping me out and allowing me to do this with you.
Not a problem. You've done very, very well. We'll have you back as well for the rest of the season. I'd just like to say well done to all the drivers here today. It's been another great event to commentate on. Thank you to all of you watching on the stream. Thank you for your words of encouragement. I think we're going to have a really, really good season this year. So I guess that's it then. Top Notch Racing, fantastic win for them today. They take the first win in the GTPlanet Sportscar Series for 2016. My name's been Andrew Mather. Thank you to David Fuller and David Griffin, who've been in the commentary box with me as well. And a shout out to Sticks TC, Adrian, who took over the first half of this race in the lead commentary role. We'll be back next weekend for the big one, Daytona, the 24 hours. We'll see you there. Take care. God bless. We'll see you next week.
Have a good night.